What it do? Shout out to not Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy Stewart. He says, yo, please cover Shank and Tim Pool today. Yank Leader. He said covers Yank Yeager. I'll cover it. Cenk Uygur. You're gonna have to help me with the You're gonna have to help me with the minute marks, man. I don't know. Let me see what it. Let me see if Cenk. Come on, Tim Pool, man. Tim got to step his game up, man. Damn, that motherfucker Tim Pool has 1.34 million subscribers. $1.3 million subs. Mm. Nah, you ain't banned. You You ain't banned a cool cat. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on, cool cat. You ain't banned. You ain't banned. You not banned. Shout out to Cenk Uygur. Cenk Uygur in Temple. Chunk yogurt. All right, this thing is 3 hours, man. Does anybody know where?
Welcome to the Culture War, everybody. This one's going to be fun. We're hanging out with
Where do you want me to start, man? Y'all say Tim is trash, man. For somebody who's trash, he got 1.34 million subs, man. Shit, that's trash. Do BCB's video on Cenk yogurts. Now, I don't know who BCB is. Black Conservative Perspective. I know who that is. You call him BCB now? Damn. Okay. That's a lot easier, man. BCB, man. That is a lot easier than Black Conservative Perspective. Right? BCP. You say do his video on it? All right. Let me see. Okay, here it is.
This point.
All right, I got it. All right, this is a more condensed version. Shout out to BCP, man. He said, got to get BCP on the panel one day, man. And the link is there every day, man. Link is there every day, man. Anybody can come up, man. BCP can come up. ACDC can come up. Fucking goddamn. Anybody can come up, man. If BCP want to come up, man, he can keep welcome to hit the link, man. Anybody can hit the link, man. My office hours are always open. I'm like a college professor, man. These are my office hours, man. These are my office hours. Well, I will say this, man. BCP is doing his damn thing on YouTube, man. As a YouTuber, and I know the work it takes to pump these videos, especially the pre-recorded videos. Like I used to pump out 3 like 20+ minute pre-recorded videos a day. As little as like a year ago. I just started doing snippets of my live streams about a year ago. I used to pump out 100 pre-recorded videos a month. So watching him and watching his videos and seeing what he does, I know what it takes, man. To edit, to make the video, then edit it. And then to make the thumbnail. And then to post it. And then I don't think he has an issue with getting his stuff monetized like I did. Like I would have to wait a whole day to get my videos monetized, but everybody has a different journey. I know what it takes for him to make those videos every day. And it's very labor intensive. It's very labor intensive, man. It's fun because you're doing something that you enjoy doing. You're doing something you enjoy doing. But, you know, it's still coming up with fresh perspectives and doing your research and knowing what the hell you're talking about. I salute the brother, man. He's putting out 100 fucking pre-recorded videos a month. This stuff is not easy, man. And then he always seems to know what he's talking about. Yeah, man. I'm a veteran YouTuber, man. I'm a vet, man, of this YouTube game, man. I've been around, man. I do live streams now. Please take the $5 challenge. Y'all can support the channel. It seems like, you know what I noticed? When I'm in the closet, that's when we get the least support. If I get a strike, like say I get a strike tonight, right? And I'm on Rumble tomorrow, we ain't gonna get no support. I'm in the closet now, in a little teeny ass closet, bringing the show to y'all. We don't get no support. But when I'm in the basement, I can stretch out and I can eat food and shit and kick my feet up. Everybody supports those shows. But the shows that you probably wouldn't get if it wasn't me, because I don't think a lot of people would be sitting in this closet, man. I don't think y'all really understand how small this closet is. And I'm not trying to, make nobody feel sorry for me. I just don't think a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers would sit in this closet and make 3-4 hours and make live streams. I don't think they would. I just don't think they would. Now I can be proven wrong. I just don't think they would. But anyway, man, that's neither here nor there. Shout out to BCP, man. Yeah, man. Being a YouTuber though, man, I know what it takes, man. I wish they would take the chains off of my channel, though. I wish YouTube would take the chains off my channel. Salute to John D, man. John D in the building. I wish YouTube would take the chains off of my channel. To where I wouldn't even need donations. Because truth be told, people like Tim Pool, they don't even need donations. If you send Tim Pool a donation, you basically that's like going to the strip club or some shit and throwing a bunch of ones at a stripper, man. It ain't no, like a lot of these YouTubers, they make so much money, they don't need contributions from their audience because they make so much money. This channel is a little bit different. They got the handcuffs on me, so I can't grow. I can't make my videos. When I drop one of my videos, let me just show you something, man. I'm gonna show you something, man. Where is it? Where is it? I make sure I don't show y'all. I'm just showing y'all how the cookies made, man. Salute to Normie Mac, man. Normie Mac in the building, man. That's a new name, man. Salute to that guy, man. Salute to you, man. Coming through. Welcome to the party, man. Let me show you. Like these videos I make during the day. Like press 1 if you watch my videos during the day, man. Like the videos I post during the day. The videos, just the clips I post. I make $7-8 off those videos, man. I make it. It's literally more. It's literally more trouble posting it up than it is worth. I make $7-8 off those videos I put up during the course of the day. I have them. I dropped like one in the last couple of days, but usually I drop 2 or 3 a day when I'm at home. When I'm those pre-recorded videos, I make $7-8, man, off of that stuff, man. $7-8 off of those videos, man. I make enough to fucking I make enough to get a fucking a sandwich from McDonald's or some shit off those videos, man. So it's like you gotta understand, like a YouTuber with 500, 600, 700,000 subs, man, that's getting hundreds of thousands of video. Those guys make $10,000, $20,000 a day, man. Well, let me just put it like this. Those guys make, let me be conservative. Let me be not hyperbolic. Those guys make $5,000 a day. Easy. Somebody like Tim Pool, he'll make $10,000 a day, $20,000 a day. Because I mean, that's how YouTube works. These guys are getting views off past videos. They're getting views off the videos they made yesterday, the views off the videos they made today. I'm lucky if I get 2,000 views. If I get 2,000 views on a video, that's great. A lot of these other guys, they'll get 200,000 views on every video, 200,000 views on every video. So they're making, $1,500 off a video. You make 3 videos a day, it's $5,000. Then you got the views that you're getting from the day before, the views from the videos from the day before. I don't make nothing doing this shit, man. This shit ain't worth my time. Coming here and sitting in the closet and doing this shit. I do this because I know for Ock Nation, because it's a community. And I know that without me, there is no community. Like, literally, like, there is no community. So I come on every night for Ock Nation. For all the people that support the channel. All the people that have been supporting the channel. All the Hall of Famers, all the Mount Rushmore. I come on every night for y'all. I don't make any fucking money doing this shit from YouTube. Make fucking 7-8 fucking bucks a day, man, off YouTube, man. I don't get no money from fucking YouTube off this shit. I ain't like, oh shit, let me go get my money, man. Yeah, man. Let me log on and get my motherfucking money. Oh shit. Let me make this video so I can get some money. Nah, I put those videos up throughout the course of the day. It's like a news channel, just like news. Just, report the news, man. Because one thing I know, man. I've been all around YouTube, man. I listen to a lot of different people, man. Nobody do it like me. There ain't nobody who understand the shit like I do. There's nobody. There's nobody out here that understands the shit like I do. Salute to Normie Mac, man. Normie Mac in the building. Shout out to Traveling Lamp. Becoming a member, man. Salute to nobody. Nobody. And that's not a diss on any other guys, man. None of that's a diss. Some dudes are younger. Some dudes ain't as based. Some dudes don't have the experiences. Some dudes can't say certain things because of their race or because of their who they are in the world. They can't say certain things. But yeah, man, you ain't gonna get it like this nowhere else. So that's another reason why I come on every night, man. For the people, man. Because I ain't gonna lie, man. Two of my favorite YouTubers of all time. Tommy Sotomayor and Colin Flaherty, man. Some people you can't get the shit anywhere else. Press 1. There's some YouTubers where you just can't. Like, there's others that may try and others that may be in their lane. Others may mimic them. Others may, just model themselves after them. But you just can't get the same shit as you can from that one person. And I like to think when it comes to this specter, this genre, and I'm not talking about every fucking thing. Because as y'all know, I don't know every fucking thing. I'm just talking about this specific genre. I don't think there's anybody out there who can do it like this, man. Salute to Gino X2, man. X2, that's the bus I used to catch every day, man. Say a little something for your troubles, man. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, you got to also understand too, man. Having other people participate on your show is not all it's cracked up to be all the time. Like, for instance, if you're a person who doesn't, you know what I'm saying, you can't think on the fly, you ain't quick with it, you ain't snappy, you know what I'm saying? You're not a good listener. Because a lot of people think that having a panel is all about talking. That's a part of it. Talking is a part of being on a panel. But the biggest part of being on a panel is listening and comprehension. So a lot of people that won't do panels because they can't listen, they can't comprehend. You have to be able to listen. You have to be able to, like, decipher what people are saying. You have to catch everything. You gotta be able to catch everything. So I can understand why a lot of people don't open up their platform and don't open up like, hey, everybody come up. That's not for everybody. The reason I do it is because I'm used to I'm used to arguing, used to debating, and used to having to explain myself. And I'm used to listening closely to not only what people say, but what they mean and the subtext and all that shit. Salute to Juice Crew Cut. He says, you want to make more money? You have to join a manosphere and blame everything on Sun Women. But you have more character than that. Absolutely. Yeah, that's true though. Like, Juice Crew Cut may be joking, but there's a lot of truth to that, man. There's a lot of truth to what he just said. Because people are more passionate, like passion. Talking to a bunch of men about how terrible women are. You can get a passionate following. People will share your videos. Hey, man, check out this video I seen. This guy, man, he said XYZ. Who shares my videos? Think about it. I'm not even trying. And I ain't mad. I ain't mad. But be honest. Who shares my videos? Who shares my videos? Because it's not something that you're really passionate about. Because I'm telling you, shit, nigga, this shit is DNA, man. This shit is you. You was born like this and you gonna die like this. I ain't telling you, oh, it's because of this or because of that and this people and that people. Nah, motherfucker, you were born like this and you gonna die like this. And in the meantime, you better enjoy living under this society these white people made. These white people made a wonderful society for themselves. And white people are so fucking, let me use the right word. White people are so altruistic that they allow everyone to enjoy it. They'll allow everyone to reap the benefits of it. Because y'all forget, man, I was born in the third world, man. I wasn't born in America, motherfucker. I was born in the third world, man. I was born in the third world hospital, man. In Lagos, Nigeria in the fucking 70s, man. Now, my mother is an American citizen. So that's why I'm a citizen. But shit, motherfucker, I know that some people would create this shit. Some people wouldn't make this shit. What America, they wouldn't have made America in 1 billion years. And I'm thankful to live here, man. Yeah. I'm thankful to live here. Thank you, white people, for making this great country, this great nation, human rights and all types of shit. Thank you for making that shit, man. Thank you, white people. And after we destroy this shit, I hope y'all make another one, man. I know you can. I know you white people can. After we destroy this shit, I know you white people can make another one. Salute the cool cat, man. Cool cat in the building. Op Nation Hall of Fame. Shout out to Date Ways, aka Ricky Henderson. Said, let's get some equity rolling in for Chief. Ain't no channel keeping it a buck like this. Yeah, man. It is what it is, man. Ain't no channel love me better than you. Make me happy. Yeah, man. Listen, man. One thing about me, too, I always been brutally honest, man. Like, one thing about me, man, I ain't gonna lie, because I know y'all know me as a YouTuber and shit. In my personal life and in my interpersonal dealings throughout the years, oh my God, I had to. One thing that helped me was the 48 Laws of Power, because it taught me that, like, yo, put your iron fist in a velvet glove. Because I used to just say shit, man, and people do not like the truth. I don't like the truth. Press one. I don't like the truth. But I used to be brutally honest, man. Coming up, and I used to have an ability to say things that would go past everybody's defenses. I used to have ability to call a spade a spade. I used to have that ability from a very young age. From a very young age, I used to have the ability to call a spade a spade. Yeah, man. I've been called an asshole so many times. Why'd you say that? You shouldn't have said that. Yeah, man. I completely feel like, what I'm saying here on this show, man, every night, it's kind of like it's just me. It's just who I am. It's who I've always been. Even though my views are different. Like, I always think like this. Like, if I was woke, y'all would be in trouble. If I was working for the other side, because I would have a huge platform. And I would be fucking, all my videos would be shared and all my videos would get traction and all my posts, like I would be on all the platforms because I'm not on Twitter because they shadow ban me. I'm not on Facebook because they suspend me every time I post. If I post something, a fucking pop-up comes up immediately. Anytime I post on Facebook, a pop-up comes up immediately. Like, you've been suspended for a week. So, like, if I was woke and on the other side with my mindset, I don't think this country could recover, man. I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't think this country could recover. If I was had the platform of like a woke social media influencer, the way I think, I don't think this country could recover, man. Salute to Stephen Powers, man. He says, I've enjoyed many shows. Thank you. Shout out to you, Stephen Powers. Got Wicked in the building, man. He said, run up on this fire and get burnt, little Sunward. R.I.P. Young Dolph. Here we go again. Ak is going to nitpick videos of Sun. Lord knows these videos are hard to come by because the Sun man ain't do nothing. Yeah, man. Facts, man. Let me get started, man. Somebody said they get suspended from Facebook for talking about Israel. I get suspended from Facebook for talking about fucking goddamn Cal Ripken or some shit. I get suspended from Facebook for talking about goddamn Howdy Doody, man. I could talk about Taylor Swift and get a fucking suspension on Facebook, man. The hell are you talking about, man? Shout out to Elon Musk too, man. Because I've been able to post more on Twitter since Elon took over. I will say that. I've been able to post more on Twitter. It's just that Twitter, I had such a hard time with them. It's hard to just just start posting this shit. But yeah, it's been a lot easier since Elon. Shout out to Elon Musk, man. Rudy Bishop says, how does a guy from an all-white seaside county in California end up listening to this bro every night? Drives my chick crazy, but it's real shit. Thanks. Yeah, listen, man. Let me tell you something, man. Everybody who's part of our nation, man, whether you fucking just came here or you already had these thoughts, it's a beautiful thing, man, because I'm telling you, man, when I drive, I look for channels that's talking about this shit the way I talk about it. Like when I take this 4-hour drive back up to Pennsylvania in a couple of days, I'm going to want to listen to something talking about it like this. And I don't like listening to replays of my own show. So don't ask me that. I don't like listening to replays of my own show. I'll only do that I already listened to enough of myself when I'm editing the clips. Then I'm editing the clips and breaking them down and reposting the clips from the live streams. So I do not like listening to replays of the show. But I be looking for that shit. And I can't find it, man. I can't find nothing like this anywhere on YouTube. I can't find it. So salute to you, Rudy, bitch. Shout out to Nate Ways. He said, give Ock 10 more $10 super chats and I'll cash app him $100. We got 3 minutes. Let's go. Oh, man. You heard that? Dang. That's a heavy one, man. You see that tweet? You see that Ock Nation, man? Make sure y'all Take that challenge that Nate Ways just did, man. Shout out to Nate Ways, man. Make sure y'all take that challenge that Nate Ways just made, man. He said 10 more $10 super chats and he'll cash at me $100. And I believe him too, man. Because he always says keeps his word, man. So yeah, man. You heard him, man. Salute to Nate Ways, man. Shout out to DVK, man. DVK on the board, man. I'm gonna leave Nate's chat up. Nate's one up there for now. But we got DVK, Op Nation Hall of Famer. He answered the call. Let me see what Cenk talking about, man.
At this point, the FBI, which is historically massively right-wing, the idea that the FBI is some sort of left-wing deep state is hilarious, not backed up by a single fact. But so the right wing, and so the FBI is saying, hey, guys, we wish it weren't the case, but most of the domestic terrorists in America now are right-wingers. And they're all trying to kill anyone who disagrees with Donald Trump.
I just think that's wrong. And I think, I certainly think there are right-wing.
And by the way,
terrorists.
I just want to be clear. That doesn't mean all right-wingers or a majority of right-wingers are terrorists. It just means of the terrorists that are around now, which is a small group, right? Unfortunately, most of them are right-wingers at this point. We heard that in 8th grade, he was smoking marijuana. He was evil and had it coming. Did you know George Floyd might have stolen $20 whole? Oh my God, these black people, they're so evil. Did you know that Trayvon Martin, it was caught in school, maybe smoking pot, and that's why Zimmerman had to murder him in cold blood. He had it coming. He had it coming.
So I can understand if conservatives and right-wingers have done that. And so you're just frustrated and don't want to hear it, but I'm not doing that.
All right, guys. So we got to.
Oh my God, this Tim Pool guy's a pussy, man. Damn, Tim Pool, you got neutered by a POC quick. Damn, Tim Pool. What you mean you're not doing that? It doesn't matter if you're not doing that. He's still gonna brand you a racist. Damn, yo, I hate seeing. Salute to the freshmen and salute to Scandal. We got 3 on the board. We need 7 to go, man. 3 on the board, 7 to go, man. To meet the Nate Ways challenge, man. Shout out to DVK, the freshman, and Scandal at 585. Listen, man. Yo, he just got cucked, man. Yo, he just got cucked. This was a bad cuck of white people. Let me tell you something, man. And I'm going to tell you this really quickly, man, because I want to replay this again. I want to show you, break down how he gets cucked. A POC is going to brand you a racist no matter whatever you do. The end.
At this point, the FBI, which is historically massively right-wing, the idea that the FBI is some sort of left-wing deep state is hilarious, not backed up by a single fact. But so the right wing.
See right there. Listen, I don't think you have to push back against everything. I agree that you have to listen. Sometimes you let people hang themselves with their own words. I'm not a big thing on I got you. Stop right there. You don't have to be that person. But sometimes you have to push back, man. And Tim is pushing back because Cenk is allegedly a person of color, even though this is a fucking Ottoman, man. This guy comes from the fucking most brutal rulers that ever ruled the world. This is the Ottoman Turk, man. They fucking ruled the whole world with an iron fist for fucking millennia. But in America, he gets to rebrand himself as some kind of person of color. This is the Ottoman Turk.
At this point, the FBI, which is historically massively right-wing, the idea that the FBI is some sort of left-wing deep state is hilarious, not backed up by a single fact. But so the right wing, and so the FBI is saying, hey, guys, we wish it weren't the case, but most of the domestic terrorists in America now are right wingers, and they're all trying to kill anyone who disagrees with Donald Trump.
I just think.
Okay, and right there, most like the fact, if you're not going to push back on that, fine. But then when he goes into this next spiel, you can't say, I'm not doing that. Like this guy, Tim, and I've never watched this show, so I will say this, but I know he has 1.34 million followers. And I know Cenk very well from watching Young Turks throughout the years. This can't be Tim Pool. This can't. Is this what it's like every show? Because I know we're about to hear about how he owned Cenk Uygur, right? Isn't it? Is that what we're about to hear about? Tim Pool owned Cenk Uygur, right? This is a cucking of epic proportions. And then he uses black people to drive the nail in the coffin because he knows you can't say anything once he starts talking about black people and how George Floyd might have stole $20. This was an expert. I will give Cenk this. This was a master class in cucking a white dude, man. This is a master class in cucking a white dude.
At this point, the FBI, which is historically massively right-wing, the idea that the FBI is some sort of left-wing deep state is hilarious, not backed up by a single fact. But so the right wing, and so the FBI is saying, hey, guys, we wish it weren't the case, but most of the domestic terrorists in America now are right-wingers, and they're all trying to kill anyone who disagrees with Donald Trump.
I just think that's wrong, and I think I only think there are right-wing.
And by the way, I just want to be clear. That doesn't mean all right-wingers or a majority of right-wingers are terrorists. It just means of the terrorists that are around.
And one thing about Cenk couldn't alpha male me, but I think Cenk is an alpha. Cenk is an alpha. Listen to how he's controlling the conversation with Tim in a way like this is how like a New York street hustler on the train is sit next to a white guy with his wife and like literally get his wife's number in front of him. Like literally bag this white dude's wife in front of him. And the white dude be none the smarter or none the wiser. Yeah, honey, go give him your number. You guys are gonna do the same things. It'll be good. That's the type of energy Cenk's giving me, and Tim's giving me straight up cuck energy, man.
Around now, which is a small group, right? Unfortunately, most of them are right-wingers at this point. We heard that in 8th grade, he was smoking marijuana. He was evil and had it coming. Did you know George Floyd might have stolen $20 whole? Oh my God, these black people, they're so evil. Did you know that Trayvon Martin, it was caught in school, maybe smoking pot, and that's why Zimmerman had to murder him in cold blood. He had it coming. He had it coming.
So I could understand if conservatives and right-wingers have done that. And so you're just frustrated and don't want to hear it, but I'm not doing that.
All right, guys.
And listen, man, I'm sure Tim. Listen, man, I'm not going to talk about Tim. I don't want to go too hard on Tim because Tim's a white guy, and a lot of white guys are just naturally cucked in this age as a self-defense mechanism. Press one. It's a self-preservation. It's, I want to be happy. I want to go through this world not being known as a racist. A racist is the worst thing a white person can do. Being a racist makes you even worse than the guy in Maine who shot all those people. Being a racist makes you worse than any fucking body There's nothing any race can do to make. There's nothing a black person can do as a black person that makes them worse than a white person being a racist makes them. And I just don't want to deal with that. So here's my nutsack in a fucking bag. After the interview, you can give it back to me, or you can leave it in the fucking break room, whatever. But just don't take it home with you, please. And I can understand that, man. As a white guy, man, being cucked like that, man. I've had times, man, where I've son men, even some men that I could have killed with my bare hands. I've had to tuck my tail. I've had to bite my tongue because they may have had the upper hand in the situation in other ways. And I've had to just let shit ride or let shit go. Or, turn the other cheek, as you would say. So I've been there, man. As a white guy, it's a way of life. It's sad.
It was caught in school, maybe smoking pot, and that's why Zimmerman had to murder him in cold blood. He had it coming. He had it coming.
So I can understand if conservatives and right wingers have done that, and so you're just frustrated and don't want to hear it. But I'm not doing it.
All right, guys. So we got to talk about severely Trump deranged presidential candidate Cenk Uygur, who went on Tim Pool's show to discuss his candidacy for president. Now, Cenk can't actually be president. Okay, he can't be president. He's running knowing that he can't be president based off some cuckoo for Cocoa Puff legal theory that he know is not going to hold up in a conservative Supreme Court. I think the guy should be sent to prison for scamming his followers out of money, okay, and trying to subvert the Constitution. Okay, this is the same argument that Cenk makes for sending Trump to prison, right? But he seems to be trying to do the same thing that he accuses Trump of. But anyways, again, this guy who's severely Trump deranged goes on Tim Pool's show, and it went down the exact type of way that you would expect. Cenk making a whole bunch of statements that are not grounded in reality, right? Because, again, the guy is not only Trump deranged, but he is delusional. And Tim Pool calmly schooling him on why his opinions and his arguments are stupid. And I want to talk about a couple sections of this conversation that he had with Tim Pool that were fascinating and that show you how deranged and out of touch with reality people like Cenk and the progressive left are. And they have to do with domestic terrorism or domestic extremism in this country and racism. The first clip I'm going to show you guys is a clip of Cenk discussing how he thinks that right-wingers are the biggest domestic terror threats to this country. And then the next clip I'm going to show you guys is a clip where Cenk thinks that Antifa is barely existent, right? That they're not actually a real issue compared to all the right-wing militia groups around the country. So without further ado, go ahead and roll the clip.
At this point, the FBI, which is historically massively right-wing, the idea that the FBI is some sort of left-wing deep state is hilarious, not backed up by a single fact. But so the right wing, and so the FBI is saying, hey, guys, we wish it weren't the case, but most of the domestic terrorists in America now are right-wingers, and they're all trying to kill anyone who disagrees with Donald Trump.
I just think that's wrong. And I think I certainly think there are right.
By the way, I just want to be clear. That doesn't mean all right-wingers or a majority of right-wingers are terrorists. It just means of the terrorists that are...
Yo, this is a cucking of epic proportions, man. And here's the thing, man. And shout out to BCP, man. This has nothing to do with BCP. BCP, he thinks that Tim stood on business or whatever, fine. Or schooled him or whatever. Tim is getting cucked. He's getting cut off. He's getting told. He's getting boxed into a corner. And yes, Cenk is using shrewd methods like race, and he's using Tim's fear of being, he knows Tim is scared of, being called a racist or whatnot. But that still means you win. If I'm a fucking criminal and I'm fighting against a cop, and the cop can't put his arms around my neck, but I can do anything. I can scratch his eyes out. I can fucking grab his fucking dick and twist it. Just because he's playing by the rules and not choking me because it's against department regulations, that doesn't get him anything but a fucking L. So the fact that Tim's being calm and mature and all that stuff, and Cenk's being a dick and still winning, Cenk is still winning.
Around now, which is a small group, right? Unfortunately, most of them are right wingers at this point.
I think it's completely inverted, but the bias comes from the extremity of the actions taken by the terrorists. So you'll end up with a story of a guy, perhaps Maine. I think the story is more about what happened in Maine. He was mentally unwell and he was targeting his friends, is what they're reporting now. He thought his friends were talking behind his back and he went nuts. But
Listen, man. There's nothing Tim saying that's a W. Listen to what Tim just said. Cenk literally got all of his talking points out. Anybody who's listening to this, who's on his side, has been fed. Listen to what Tim says.
The bias comes from the extremity of the actions taken by the terrorists. So you'll end up with a story of a guy, perhaps Maine. I think the story is more about what happened in Maine.
Come on, man. Right wingers out there, right there. This is food for your soul. All my right wingers out there, that's food. That raw. You think he's moved Cenk one iota off of his stance. B, he's moved anybody who's neutral off of their stance who's watching this. Tell me, man. This is a cucking.
Around now, which is a small group, right? Unfortunately, most of them are right wingers at this point.
I think it's completely inverted, but the bias comes from the extremity of the actions taken by the terrorists. So you'll end up with a story of a guy, perhaps Maine. I think the story is more about what happened in Maine. He was mentally unwell and he was targeting his friends, is what they're reporting now. He thought his friends were talking behind his back and he went nuts. But
by the way, they're all mentally unwell.
Of course.
No, but it's not of course, because the right wing says anytime it's a white person or a right winger, they go mentally unwell. And because I'm honest, I agree, right? And so, and they'll have their half of them will have their manifestos, like in Charlottesville, he had a manifesto about race wars and how black people were terrible, and that's why he went inside a black church and shot them up. El Paso was against Latinos. There's the synagogue shootings. So these are political, there's no question, but no one who's mentally well goes into a synagogue or a church and shoots people. But that is also true of Muslims. When it comes to right wing, they're like, oh, yeah, that's so true when it comes to right wingers. So true. They're just mentally unwell. They don't represent us.
Okay, a couple things. Tim could never call a Muslim mentally unwell. Press 1. Tim, as a white guy, could never call a Muslim or a Middle Easterner mentally unwell. And Cenk knows that. I'm telling you, this is a thorough cucking. Take your bias that you have against Cenk out of it. Just look at this as two little kids in the schoolyard. They're in the sandbox, two little kids in the sandbox. It's a bunch of toys. Cenk has taken all of the toys, put him on his side, and thrown sand in fucking Tim's face. And he's about to kick him out of the sandbox.
Mentally unwell, and he was targeting his friends, is what they're reporting now. He thought his friends were talking behind his back, and he went nuts. But
by the way, they're all mentally unwell.
Of course.
No, but it's not of course, because the right wing says anytime it's a white person or a right winger, they go mentally unwell. And I go, and because I'm honest, I agree, right? And so, and they'll have their half of them will have their manifestos, like in Charlottesville, he had a manifesto about race wars and how black people were terrible. And that's why we went inside a black church and shot them up. El Paso was against Latinos. There's the synagogue shootings. So these are political. There's no question. But no one who's mentally well goes into a synagogue or a church and shoots people. But that is also true of Muslims. When it comes to right wing, they're like, oh, yeah, that's so true when it comes to right wing. It's so true. They're just mentally unwell. They don't represent us. Muslims. Oh, it's all Muslims. It's all Muslims. They're all mentally well. That's why they shot up people. They don't have any mental.
And he knows that white people never talk like that in the public sphere about Muslims. Cenk knows that no white person who wants to be platformed or employed would ever say any of these things about Muslims. Yet he's still putting it on their head. He's still branding them with it. And that's a bully technique, man. That's what bullies do. That's what sociopaths do. They accuse you of things that you aren't doing, and they make you defend yourself against things that you aren't doing. That's a classic narcissist manipulator technique. He knows Tim would literally cut one of his testicles off with a pocket knife before he got in a public space and said that Muslims are mentally ill. And he's still accusing Tim of doing that and other white people of doing that, even though he knows white people don't talk like that, because white people are very, 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 very well aware of the consequences of talking like that in the public sphere.
Wars and how black people were terrible. And that's why we went inside a black church and shot them up. El Paso was against Latinos. There's the synagogue shootings. So these are political. There's no question. But no one who's mentally well goes into a synagogue or a church and shoots people. But that is also true of Muslims. When it comes to right wing, they're like, oh, yeah, that's so true when it comes to right wing. It's so true. They're just mentally unwell. They don't represent us. Muslims. Oh, it's all Muslims. It's all Muslims. They're all mentally well. That's why they shot up people. They don't have any mental health problems. Their problem is that they're Muslim. Well, that's exactly bigotry. No, all those dudes have massive mental health problems as well. So instead of saying, hey, I hate black people, they're saying I hate the West or whatever it is.
But so here's my point. The examples you gave are these extreme examples that are horrifying. We try to prevent, and these people they're acts of evil, abject evil. On the left, you get what I would call more blunt terror. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, the George Floyd riots. When you had small towns across this country, Michael Tracy's reporting, showing a grocery store that's windows smashed out, and they spray paint on the boarded up window saying, please don't hurt us. When you have people in Berkeley, I was at a bar in Berkeley and they had Trump sucks, Trump is a pig on the window. And I'm having a drink. And I asked, this is like 2017. I was like, you guys not big Trump fans? And the bartender's like, no, we like him. And I'm like, why would you put that in the window? If we don't, they'll smash our windows out and attack us. That people live in, have you been to Berkeley? There's a Burger King with a big sign in the window saying, we are not a corporate chain. We are family owned. Please don't hurt us. I'm like, why would you live that way? You look at May 29th, when far leftists firebombed the White House grounds and St. John's Church. And this is not major news. There's no committee hearings. But if you're somebody who lives, I'll give you a more recent example. When I'm in Reston, Virginia, having dinner with the team here, a guy comes up and says, you're not going to hear this a lot, Reston, but I'm a big fan. And I was like, actually, like 4 people already have come up and okay, that's the blunt terror of, in a town I live in, I have to whisper and I'm scared that someone might find out I listen to Timcast. When in reality, people who worked there and other people had already said this, but they all seem to say the same things. I'm scared to express my opinions.
That's not terrorism, Tim.
But it is people who are living
let me clarify.
for political reasons. No. We called them a black anarchists at the time. people call them Antifa now. I mean, it's like a vague term for groups of left-wing ideologues who dress up and attack people. I know that if I go to if we have people on the show who rag on Trump, the responses we get are, "You are wrong." If we go to places and we challenge the left, we get threats of violence and death.
No, not death. But
we do.
But
we were
Tim,
swatted.
I'm against it.
I was
Doesn't
swatted
matter.
15 times last year. We had.
Oh, you were?
We were
Yeah.
swatted 15 times.
Yeah, I saw that you were swatted at least once.
I would say Tim did kind of recover a little bit, but at any time, that was only because Cenk was allowing him to talk. If Cenk had cut him off, Tim would have had no recourse. But Tim did make some salient points, man, and those points were anecdotal points, and and they were very good. I think those were very good. But I want you to watch the bullying that goes on here. The what's the word? The Tim tells Cenk of his experience and the things he goes through, and Cenk dismisses them summarily, makes light of them, minimizes them. These are narcissistic bully techniques.
A black bloc anarchist at the time. People call them Antifa now. I mean, it's like a vague term for groups of left-wing ideologues who, if we go to places and we infiltrators, I mean, the degree of threats that we got were insane.
Yeah. So look, there's a strand of that on the extreme left.
Oh,
Doesn't
Spotted
matter.
15 times last year.
yeah,
We had-
it is right here.
If we go to places and we challenge the left, we get threats of violence and death.
No, not death. But
we do. We were
Tim,
swatted.
I'm against it.
I
It
was
doesn't
swatted
matter.
15 times last year. We had.
Oh, you were?
We were
Yeah.
swatted 15 times.
Yeah, I saw that you were swatted at least once, and I said on air, I
Bomb
hate
threats?
that. I despise that.
Spies, infiltrators. I mean, the degree of threats that we got were insane.
Yeah. So look, there's a strand of that on the extreme left, and it's always been around in the extreme left, but it got so muted. It's now back to rising up. It's bubbling up, and I'm worried about it. Whether it's tankies or whoever they are. I don't really like the Antifa thing. You guys hyped up so much, and then they never arrived.
What do you mean? They did.
There was barely any Antifa. Meanwhile, there's like right-wing militias everywhere.
And here's the thing. You never see these right-wing militias. As soon as they show up on the scene, they're arrested. As soon as they do anything, they're like literally the full force of the United States government comes down on. Antifa, I've shown you videos of myself interviewing Antifa, me interviewing Antifa members. I've been to so many protests where Antifa's literally been waging like these little wars. They got shields and spears, they're throwing things, and just having like these battles with right-wing protesters. And he literally just straight up and down lied and discounted it and dismissed it as not even happening. And Tim really doesn't have the voice to combat that. Because if I'm listening to this, Tim's like not fighting for his point. Tim should be like, yo, it's actually the opposite of what you say. I'm standing on this. Antifa is the menace. Antifa does 90% of the terrorism, the burning of stores, the burning of cities, the tearing down of statues, the spray painting of federal buildings. They do that. You never hear right-wingers doing that stuff in the public sphere. But Tim doesn't have the voice for that. He doesn't have the voice for that. He doesn't have the voice for that. And maybe that's not just him getting cuffed. Maybe that's just a personality thing.
Infiltrators, I mean, the degree of threats that we got were insane.
Yeah. So look, there's a strand of that on the extreme left, and it's always been around in the extreme left, but it got so muted. It's now back to rising up. It's bubbling up, and I'm worried about it. Whether it's tankies or whoever they are, I don't really like the.
That's not how it works. Cenk doesn't look like a loud liar. Cenk looks like somebody who said something to somebody who is supposedly in the know, and that person didn't check him. That's how it works in these settings. I'm somebody in the know about, let's talk about crime, right? And I'm in front of Cenk, and Cenk says, yeah, black men are thrown into the criminal justice system the first time they jaywalk, and their lives are thrown away for a jaywalking ticket. If I don't say, hey, wait a second, man, if I just let that go, people who know, hey, that's Ock Nation. Ock Nation knows about this stuff, man. They say Cenk must be right. That's how it works. It doesn't work. He's a loud liar. Go ahead, Tim. Let him be a loud liar. That's not how it works in the psyche. That's not how it works in the mind. The world doesn't work like that.
I said on air, I
Bomb
hate
threats?
that. I despise that.
Spies, infiltrators. I mean, the degree of threats that we got were insane.
Yeah. So look, there's a strand of that on the extreme left, and it's always been around in the extreme left, but it got so muted. It's now back to rising up. It's bubbling up, and I'm worried about it. Whether it's tankies or whoever they are. I don't really like the Antifa thing. You guys hyped up so much, and then they never arrived.
What do you mean? They did.
There was barely any Antifa. Meanwhile, there's like right-wing militias everywhere.
Well,
there's like 2 Antifa dudes in Portland, but there are extreme left, and they are getting more extreme.
How many people
now?
How many people died in the?
There's like 2 Antifa dudes in Portland.
The occupation in Seattle.
I don't know.
I think 3.
I wouldn't doubt that.
It's particularly disconcerting when far left.
4 black men were murdered and Chaz chopped by other black men over ghetto Sunman bullshit.
With rifles take over several city blocks.
Yeah, that was a disaster.
And they unloaded 300 rounds into an SUV with 2 teenagers in it. I don't know if they both died. There were, I think, maybe potentially 3 deaths specifically there. But it's like, hey, that's what we're talking about. That happened,
So that definitely happened, and that's what I mean
and
by
the George Floyd occupation as well in Minneapolis. You also had shootings. There's a video of a car driving through, and they're unloading rounds into that car.
So there's
So you seen that, you heard that. Again, this is a classic example of how Trump derangement syndrome makes it so you really can't understand reality, right? Like Cenk is just not in touch with the reality of the extremism on his side of the aisle, okay? Because I want you guys to understand the argument that he's making, right?
That's not true, though. And I don't want to get into anything with BCP, man. I think he's a great guy, man. Cenk fully understands the level of violence coming from the left. He fully understands that. Cenk fully understands that. Cenk is just presenting talking points. He's putting up the front. It's a war. This is a war. This is a battle. He's playing the game. He's playing hardball. Cenk's pulling on your fucking jersey when the ref's not looking. Cenk's tripping you up. Cenk's elbowing you. Cenk's cheating and shit. He's listening on your fucking huddle. And Tim Pool is going over to the ref saying, hey, on that last call where the ball went out, you gave it to them. I mean, you gave us the ball. It really was out on me. And I think you should give the ball to the other team because the ball really hit me last. You didn't see it. to say that Cenk doesn't understand it is just a very, very a misunderstanding of what's going on here. Cenk understands full well. Cenk is not, there's not a white supremacist group in the country that keeps Cenk up at night. When Cenk's out in public, he sees white people, he knows he's going to be safe. Cenk would rather be around white people than listen, Cenk would never sign up to be around black people in any public space unless he had to be. He wouldn't want to be around Middle Easterners. Cenk he prefers being around white people. He prefers white institutions. He prefers white social gatherings. He loves white people. His least favorite white person is the fucking lefty, liberal, bummy, dread wearing, hacky sack playing white liberal. He prefers the straight up and down, button up and tie white person in the environments that they create. He's just playing the game for keeps. And this debate with Tim Pool is part of the game.
Right? The argument that the left makes to support the idea that right-wing extremism, right, is the biggest domestic terror threat to his country is that they'll take a situation like, for example, a mass shooting. And if the guy happens to espouse beliefs that are racist, but not overtly political, they will say, oh, well, he's a right-winger, right? This is what they do, okay? So what they do every single time, they take racism and they extrapolate that it's only something that can happen on the right. He must be right-wing because the guy did the shooting for racist reasons. For example, the Buffalo mass shooter, okay? They basically framed this guy as a right-wing extremist because he had racist beliefs, okay? I mean, he was legitimately somebody that I would define as a white supremacist. However, if you actually look at his manifesto, okay, this guy straight up said, I am not conservative, okay? I don't like Fox News. White people, whatever. More
Particular case about the guy who shot the video, but why are you like going out of your way to?
It's another example of how these people are just not in touch with reality. Take a look.
Nitpicking the prosecution in that particular case about the guy who shot the video, but why are you like going out of your way to defend the most racist murderers in America? Then you shouldn't wonder why people think you're an extreme right winger, Tim. I'm keeping it real with you.
I don't know who these guys are. I don't know anything about
You don't think that they're racist when they just chase down a black guy in the neighborhood and pull a shotgun on him?
You see,
he's not even armed, and then they murder him in cold blood, and you don't think that's racist?
You see,
what is your line for racism then?
Okay, if there's a suspect in a crime, and the police say, this is who we think he is, then you believe this man may have actually stolen the gun out of my truck. He may be armed. The police told the McMichaels not to pursue.
You
they
have
should
made
not have.
8 logical jumps there.
Like what? Like what?
There was a guy who was in the neighborhood. The cops showed me a black guy's picture. Then maybe he took something out of my car. Now I'm like way out.
Hold on,
land.
you're making a mistake.
And
you notice how every time Cenk talks about a black person, it's maybe they stole $20, maybe they smoked some weed, maybe they took something out of his place. I would guarantee you, Cenk is 1,000 times more racist against black people than Tim Pool is. But in this conversation, he's bombarding Tim. He's basically branded Tim a racist. And I know Tim probably knows it's not convenient. Well, damn, I mean, he's a big liar or whatever the fuck he said. It doesn't matter if he's a big liar. Watch him brand Tim a racist and watch Tim not say, hey, wait a second, man. I take umbrage to that. That's where I draw the line, man. This insinuation that I'm a racist is completely uncalled for, completely crosses the line. You've crossed the line, man, and you need to clarify that. What's brand to racist?
Take a look.
Nitpicking the prosecution in that particular case about the guy who shot the video. But why are you like going out of your way to defend the most racist murderers in America? Then you shouldn't wonder why people think you're an extreme right winger, Tim. I'm keeping it real with you.
I don't know who these.
He accused him of defending the most racist murderers in America. He's talking about an incident where the black guy literally took the gun from the white guy, and while he pulled it from the white guy, the gun went off. And that was the only shot fired in the incident. Again, Cenk is talking about an incident where after everything was said and done, the culmination of the incident was the black guy running up on the armed white guy, attempting to snatch the shotgun out of his hand and the gun going off. And that being the only shot fired in the incident. And he somehow was able to use that to brand Tim a racist. This shit is next level cucking, man. I can't believe y'all don't see it.
With reality. Take a look.
Nitpicking the prosecution in that particular case about the guy who shot the video. But why are you like going out of your way to defend the most racist murderers in America? Then you shouldn't wonder why people think you're an extreme right winger, Tim. I'm keeping it real with you.
I don't know who these guys are. I don't know anything about.
You don't think that they're racist when they just chase down a black guy in the neighborhood and pull a shotgun on him?
You see,
he's not even armed, and then they murder him in cold blood, and you don't think that's racist?
You see,
what is your line for racism then?
Okay, if there's a suspect in a crime, and the police say this is who we think he is, then you believe this man may have actually stolen the gun out of my truck. He may be armed. The police told the McMichaels not to pursue. They should not have.
8 logical jumps there.
Like what? Like what?
There was a guy who was in the neighborhood. The cops show me a black guy's picture. Then maybe he took something out of my car. Now I'm like way out.
Hold on, you're making a mistake.
And then, here comes a black guy in the neighborhood. Maybe he was the guy, but maybe my truck, and maybe let's go chase him down with a shotgun.
I didn't say they were right to do it.
Chase down anybody else in the neighborhood with a shotgun?
Press 1 if you see this. Press 1 if you see this. I mean, this is a cocking masterclass. This is just a bigger, more assertive, whatever you want to say about Cenk. Cenk's balls are hanging. Tim's are in his stomach. Whatever you want to say about Cenk, Cenk's balls are hanging and Tim's are in his stomach. So if they were talking about the price of tea in China, I would be saying the same thing. They just happen to be talking about race relations in America.
Oh, there's a black guy. Let's chase him down.
I didn't say they were right to do it.
Okay. All right. Then why are you bothering defending them? I don't get it.
You've taken this.
Unless you're trying to get attention of all the right wingers who go, oh, that wasn't so bad, was it? Hey, Tim Pool's defending us.
Do you remember the Covington kids?
Remind
the
me.
kid on the steps of the Lincoln.
Yeah.
And
they knew when he caught the.
Who thinks he doesn't know who the Covington Catholic kids are? Press 1 if you think he didn't know who the Covington Catholic kids are. Another beta move, asking You don't ask him, does he know the Covenant Catholic Kids? He did fucking 80 shows on the Covenant Catholic Kids. You just tell him.
Go chase him down with a shotgun.
I didn't say they were right to do
chase
it.
down anybody else in the neighborhood with a
I didn't say
shotgun?
they were-
Oh, look, there's a black guy. Let's go chase him down.
I didn't say they were right to do it.
Okay. All right. Then why are you bothering defending them? I don't get it.
You've taken
Unless you're trying to get attention of all the right wingers who go, oh, that
You see,
wasn't so bad, was it?
this is-
Hey, Tim Pool's defending us.
Do you remember the Covington Catholic Kids?
Remind
The
me.
kid on the steps of the Lincoln.
Yeah, yeah.
and
And,
the
they
Native
knew
Amer-
when he caught the feelings and everybody cried like a baby.
And how many people
When he caught the feelings and sued everybody and cried like a baby. When he, listen, Cenk, and well, he's a big liar, and that's not nice. It doesn't matter. He's framing it. One thing about these things is how you frame the debate. Listen to how he framed the Covington Catholic Kids, who 2 seconds before he acted like he'd never heard of. And remember how Tim could not frame Antifa. Tim couldn't put Antifa in the box they belonged in. He couldn't put left-wing terrorists in the box they belonged in. Watch Cenk show him how you do it.
Unless you're trying to get attention of all the right wingers who go, oh, that
You see,
wasn't so bad, was
this
it?
is-
Hey, Tim Pool's defending us.
Do you remember the Covington Catholic Kids?
Remind
The
me.
kid on the steps of the Lincoln.
Yeah, yeah.
and
And,
the
they
Native
knew
Amer-
when he caught the feelings and sued everybody and cried like a baby.
And how many people accused that kid of wrongdoing when it turns out he was actually confronted by Nathan Phillips and not the other way around?
We never made that mistake. And if you get something wrong, you just say it.
I'm not going
Because
to give
facts matter, right?
Absolutely. So when it comes to the case like Ahmaud Arbery or many of these others, or Breonna Taylor, I'm not going to start making declarative statements about the personal opinions of people I've never met and don't know anything about. I'm going to try and understand what the argument from the prosecution was. And guess what? The prosecution did not dispute that Ahmaud Arbery was a suspect in the felony burglaries. The prosecution argued.
I don't care.
And, well, that's the point.
See, yeah, and that's the point, Tim. He doesn't care. And he doesn't have to care because his side doesn't care. They just want to win. Press 1. Cenk's side doesn't care. They just want to win. Now, Tim, you say he's not a right winger, but in this scenario, he's been boxed in. Cenk has thoroughly pushed him onto the right. And Tim is effectively a right winger during this debate. He's representing the right wing side. A side that cares about every T being dotted and every statement being factual. And you're dealing with people that don't care.
No, I care about. I'll tell you why I don't care. So it's not just like I'm being flippant, right? It's because every time a black man is killed by either authorities or vigilantes in the
Who thinks this guy gives a shit about a black man being killed by vigilantes or authorities or another black man? This guy's been talking for a long time about black men being killed. I don't think this guy gives one iota of a shit about a black man being killed, nor should he. But I'm just saying I don't think he does. But he successfully painted himself as this champion for black men.
case. What right wingers do is, did you know that back in 7th grade he was once tardy, and we heard that in 8th grade he was smoking marijuana. He was evil and had it coming. Did you know George Floyd might have stolen $20 whole? Oh my God, these black people, they're so evil. Did you know that Trayvon Martin it was caught in school maybe smoking pot, and that's why Zimmerman had to murder him in cold blood. He had it coming. He had it coming.
So I can understand if conservatives and right wingers have done that, and so you're just frustrated and don't want to hear it, but I'm not doing that.
It's in the Ahmaud Arbery case and the George Floyd case, you're taking the most extreme cases with the most clear racism, with the most clear murders, and you're trying to nuance it. And what I'm telling you, Tim, and what has made me uncomfortable in the past, which is what I was trying to get past, is that attracts a huge right-wing audience because they want somebody to excuse the death of Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. And when you seem to excuse it with your nuance, and they go, yes,
I don't care what.
Finally, somebody's sticking up for white people killing black people.
Damn. Salute, man. Hats off, man. Hats off to Cenk, man. Hats off to Cenk, man. Let me drop the link, man. Hats off to Cenk, man. Cenk just eviscerated that guy, man. And I'm not saying that Cenk would eviscerate every single person he's debating. I just saying that guy that Cenk just debated, Cenk literally eviscerated him. It is what it is, man. I know you guys don't like it. You guys, he just dropped the mic on him for his talking points. He branded Tim. And that's all he had to do was win. He didn't have to win a certain way. He didn't have to win in a certain fashion. All he had to do was win. One thing a lot of y'all got WWE, or what do you call it, wrestling. You notice the heel doesn't have to win in some linear, perfect, beautiful fashion. The heel just has the win. I mean, somebody could hit the ref over the head with a chair while he's getting counted out. The heel could be unconscious, getting counted out, and somebody could come in the ring and hit the ref over the head with a steel chair to stop him from counting. And then later on in the match, when the ref's not looking, somebody could come in the ring and blindside his opponent and knock him unconscious, and then the ref turn around and when you're the heel, all you have to do is win. It doesn't have to be this masterpiece, this virtuoso performance, man. When you're the heel, all you have to do is win. Press one. Go ahead. What's up, guys? What's happening?
Much. What's going on?
What's up, Fisherman? Do you have a problem with anything I said? What about you, Monty?
One thing I caught that Tim had asked Cenk, why doesn't the left call out somebody? He said somebody calling out like the stuff they do, but then I'm thinking back to why Tim is not going hard on Cenk, and that's the same reason, because you want to keep a platform. You try to getting swatted, getting harassed. So he's not gonna if he could go in on Cenk, he wasn't gonna do it because Tim knows he'll face a whole bunch of harassment for doing so, which I think would be worth it. I think it'd be worth it because you like you said, he got cucked on his own show.
You believe he got cut?
Yeah, because when he said he doesn't care, what Tim should have said was, then why did you fucking bring up the example in the first place if you don't care? Why have all this passion if you don't care? He could have called him out. He could have called him out on the carpet right there, and then when he brought it up and said he didn't, and then later say he didn't care.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, I mean, I've been bullied. I've had bullies bully me. I'm a Sun man from a Sun City, man. I've been bullied, man. I've bullied people. I know what bullying looks like, man. You bullied each other, man. And he bullied him in the method that you can in a debate. He ended. Listen to Cenk's last statement.
Wingers have done that, and so you're just frustrated and don't want to hear it. But I'm not doing that.
It's in the Ahmaud Arbery case and the George Floyd case, you're taking the most extreme cases with the most clear racism, with the most clear murders, and you're trying to nuance it. And what I'm telling you, Tim, and what has made me uncomfortable in the past about you, which is what I was trying to get past, is that attracts a huge right-wing audience because they want somebody to excuse the death of Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. And when you seem to excuse it with your nuance, then they go, yes,
I don't care what.
Finally, somebody's sticking up for white people killing black people. Come on, don't tell me there aren't people in your audience that think that. There's tons of people who think that.
Wow. Yo, man.
I'm surprised he hasn't brought up Emmett Till yet.
Wow. Whew. I tell you, man, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. I don't think I really got to say much else about that, man. That is what it is.
It's
In the
incredible
Oak Haven
how,
community, a dark colored car
it's incredible how
riddled
we
in more than
allow
a
them
dozen
to
bullet
use these names, these
holes
household
on
names,
Chula.
while everyone else is getting gunned down on the regular.
In the Oak Haven community, a dark colored car riddled in more than a dozen bullet holes on Chulahoma near Rains. It's another reminder of one of the latest shootings in the city that this time has apparently left a Memphis rapper known as Big Moda fighting for his life. People who live nearby, familiar with his music, but didn't want to be identified, are surprised to hear about the shooting.
That's a trip there, man. I mean, he was a good guy. You know what I mean? Cool dude.
Memphis police say they responded to a shooting Thursday night in the 4100 block of Chulahoma, where there was a large police presence. Investigators say 2 people were shot. 1 person died Friday morning. Friends tell WREG Big Moda was taken to Regional 1 Hospital with critical injuries.
But it's just sad to hear this shooting and killing all day, every day.
Fans and friends say Big Moda's music was making a name for the artist in the hip-hop community, and they call what happened to him yet another tragic shooting involving a Memphis rapper.
Ain't nothing I can say bad about him, you know, but in this city, man, you get some type of shine on you, man, they gonna hate on you. Somebody gonna come at you some kind of way, one way or another.
Right now, police are still trying to figure out what led.
Are you hearing the things this guy is saying? Like, and I'm familiar with Big Moda. He came to DC. Not far where I'm from. Went to this DC rapper's hood and like made videos and like he got beef. I think he had beef with Shy Glizzy. But yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with this guy. This guy's not a good guy.
I mean, he's no Young Dolph, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, to call him a good guy is like, I mean, he may be like,
you know, it's relative.
That's not his. Yeah, it's not his public persona is not that of a good guy.
About him, you know, but in this city, man, you get some type of shine on you, man, they gonna hate on you. Somebody gonna come at you some kind of way, one way or another.
Right now, police are still trying to figure out
That
what led
Project
up
Pat.
to the shooting and find the person responsible as neighbors remain on alert.
It's scary, you know, because you know, I got a newborn baby on the way, man, and you know, gonna get around this way and hearing that type of stuff, man. That's just better be more cautious.
Alex Coleman, WREG TV.
Big Moda. They done got Big Moda, man. Let's listen to some of the style of the Big Moda, man.
That anonymous caller sounded really like Project Pat. Oh, unless probably someone who just sound like him.
Project Pat's busy. Ain't he like a youth pastor now or something?
He is, but I guess maybe it's just that Memphis accent. It really did sound like him.
Yeah, that's probably all it is, man, is the Memphis accent.
Big
I've been trapped full of flares, man. You get what I'm saying? No motherfucking doubt. In the trap. I told the bitch to the stay down, man. We gonna stay grounded on the whole moving pound. Stay down.
Free baby, man.
We got people with both feet, man. You dig what I'm saying?
Fire chopper, fire shooter, fire car, nigga, that's a lot of rounds. Fuck her up, see her up, catch her up, nigga, we gon' gun them down. Ski man,
That didn't take long.
Take, nigga, I'ma lay him down. Took his weed, took the cash, nigga, I'm the man now. He a bitch, you a bitch, they a snitch, man, them nigga clowns. Mini Drake with the drum, red rum, nigga, Mr. 100 round. Face down, hands up, don't move, nigga, don't make a sound. Make the plug, fuck the plug, ride the plug, and took it pound. Ice on my nigga, my wrist, the chocolate spit, false move, get you hit. 10 bands, ain't shit, sippin' no snot, same color as the pit. Reapin' my chain, get hit, you chasing the clout, me, I'm trying to hit a lick. On the thumb, I'm king, working my wrist, turn a half to a brick. Smoking gelato, my clip for the hollow. I fuck with a solid, she love to swallow. Motor thing like a Pablo, chop a clap like Apollo. I'm sick of no green, my palm me a green. Don't snitch on my guys, take one for the team. Turn to the game, I'm all about cream. Hey, I with the coolin', it come with a bang. 5 T, 5 C, 5 U's, that's a lot of P. Gorilla Goo, wedding cake, pink runts, sell a lot of P. 5 perks, 5 ball, 5 rolls, that's a lot of pills. 5 gun, 5 man, 5 leaks, get a high lid.
All right, man.
This guy's dead?
No, he survived. The other person.
Oh, well, too bad.
The other person in the car is dead, though.
Oh, okay, that's good.
But you know, Cenk will look at that video and just brush over it, like, oh, it's just what they do. While he talks about right-wing terrorists being our biggest threat.
Yeah, while he lives in his fat-ass mansion and stuffs his face away from all this shit and takes his Jew money.
Whoa, juice money, dude.
Only on Fox 5 tonight, a DC mother says she is both heartbroken and furious, telling Fox 5 her 15-year-old son was allegedly attacked by members of Dunbar High School's football team.
Yeah, so maddening. The school system says those players involved will not be taking the field at tonight's 6 p.m. game. Let's get right to Stephanie Ramirez, live outside of Dunbar with the very latest. Steph?
Ladies, we also learned about an hour ago that a senior dance planned for tomorrow has now been postponed as a result. The school leadership for DC Public Schools saying that they are taking this matter very seriously. Now, we know there is video going around of this showing a violent assault. We're not sharing this at this time, but we can tell you that happened right outside of the front of the school here yesterday at around dismissal time. There was security, I'm told also school officials around, but that still did not stop the violence from breaking out. I was told the dean got hurt trying to break this up. Now, here's mom over the phone telling Fox 5 she feels the athletic lead for the school should resign.
He called me yesterday and stated that the football team is a brotherhood and they don't know my son. Like, he's justifying that. For me to get that only call, that the school never ever called me or anything. That's the only call I received. With my son, feeling as though he was going to die. And this is what he told me. It is unacceptable. And that's the behavior. The culture needs to change. It's a good school, but the culture needs to change.
And mom,
damn, little homie in a neck brace. Hey, that's how it's supposed to look when you get beat up by the football team, man. I ain't even gonna lie, but yeah, man.
A photo of her son's injuries. Her son on the phone with her explained over the phone that he was first approached and said he did not want to fight. The teen then says he sees over a dozen students behind him who begin hitting him in the head. He says at one point he's pushed to the ground, crouching as he's being punched and kicked. A police report says at one point the 15-year-old lost consciousness. A school's spokesperson says DCPS has identified at least 11 students involved total. 8 are said to be football players, and 6 of the 8 are varsity football players. Now, we're told that with over 50 students on the varsity team, that most of the players involved were not there. They were where they were supposed to be. But we are told again that those involved in this fight will not be allowed to play tonight. Mom says that's not enough.
We need safety for our children, and the school is not, the staff is not making sure the kids are safe. There's no reason for the whole football team, the kids to be disrespecting the staff while the staff was there and continue to jump and beat my son. I don't want this to ever happen to anyone's child.
And the family involved is telling us that there is a second child that was also injured here. The school system is not saying anything about why they believe this happened. The mother tells us that she believes it has to do with alleged harassment of her 15-year-old son's sibling prior to this week. The mom did meet with the principal today. We also reached out to the Attorney General's office to see if any charges could be filed here, but they will not answer candidates citing juvenile privacy laws, guys.
Had that been a team of white kids, think about what Cenk would have said if that would have been a team of white kids. Yeah, I mean,
welcome everyone.
It would be like literally. It would be literally if that was a team full of white kids, like the sky was falling.
You call it a right-wing initiation ritual.
Exactly.
But that story isn't even like a. That story's like a kind of like probably the lamest story we're going to hear all night. And Dunbar is one of the best high schools. It's probably the second best public high school in the city. So you got Woodson and you got Dunbar. They kind of like the best two public high schools. So this is not like just East Side High. This is like one of the flagship football programs in the city. And the kids are just beating the shit out of kids and injuring teachers while they're doing it and won't stop when teachers try to stop them.
Damn. I mean, these teams do haze each other, but yeah, that's a little too much. Attacking
This wasn't that. This was a completely different thing. But
this was gang.
Yeah, this was some other shit. Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta go to Baltimore because Baltimore had some big news, man. That we didn't get to last night.
A Hotep will hear you out and say you only saying that because they're black. If they was white, you would have just called them kids being kids.
Yeah, and in that environment though, because my stepfather taught at Dunbar for 25 years. So and I lived in that neighborhood for years. I know a lot of my buddies went to Dunbar. So I know the type of kids that go there. They got some rough neighborhoods that feed into that school, man. I mean, they got some rough neighborhoods, some borders. They got Fifth and O. They got some rough neighborhoods that feed into that school.
But you know what? But that's very interesting about you, right? Your stepfather was a teacher in this sons like Blackistan school. Your mother was a professor in Blackistan studies. Your wife seems to be to whatever capacity in the same field, and here you are. You know what I'm saying? It's very interesting, Chief.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. I was raised by teachers, man. I always had to explain myself. I could never ever win an argument. You know what I'm saying? I could never win an argument. I could never say I don't know. I don't know. I'd never do that.
Right. But just the fact that you're able to like move from the narrative, unplug from the matrix, and realize shit for what it is, it's incredible to me anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's not easy.
And also, like, you gotta also understand too, like, even though, like my parents, they couldn't stop anything, like they couldn't control me. They couldn't do like I want to do what I want to do. Like I can't be controlled. I can't be harnessed, man. And that's another thing too. So it's like if you on any level, like I always did what I wanted to do. It was very hard to stop me from doing something once I got my mind into it. So whatever ideology they had or whatever, it was a constant thing. But we can't control him. So yeah, let's see.
The FBI confirms to 11 News, agents conducted a raid at the Safe Street Bel Air Edison site on Bel Air Road early Thursday morning. They would only say it was court authorized.
They're supposed to keep the community safe and keep everybody organized.
a raid on the safe streets. Think about that. There was a raid on the safe streets. He's like, I mean, only in Blackistan, man. Only in the stand would this place get raided by federal agents, man. And I think we all know why, man. They up to no good, man. And we've been covering this for a while, man.
The FBI confirmed to 11 News agents conducted a raid at the Safe Streets Bel Air Edison site on Bel Air Road early Thursday morning. They would only say it was court authorized.
They're supposed to keep the community safe and keep everybody organized. That's what I understand about them.
Safe Streets Bel Air Edison is one of 10 sites in Baltimore with violence prevention workers who go out into communities and try to.
Now, all these guys, as you know, are ex-convicts. You know, all these guys are guys that 20 years ago were doing what the kids that we see in these stories are doing now. And trust me, man, salute to those guys, man, for coming back into the community.
And doing absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
And getting paid for it.
Exactly. But these guys get murked all the time. They had 3 of these guys get murked last year. 3 of them got murdered. Now, the situations were all different. One got killed by a person in direct like he got killed one-on-one. Another one got killed during a mass shooting. And another one, he was in his car and he was driving and somebody shot up his car. But 3 of these guys from this program were murdered last year.
Out into communities and try to keep conflicts from turning into dangerous and volatile situations that end in shootings or loss of life. We've learned 2 other search warrants were also executed. In a statement, LifeBridge Health tells 11 News 2 of our staff members indicated federal agents showed up at their residences. We are treating this incident seriously and complying with requests from authorities.
It just blows my mind. The word safe streets and you get raided doesn't make any sense to me. What's the use in having a program if y'all are gonna be doing the same things that people in the streets is doing, but y'all supposed to be trying to help us?
Concerning the raid at the Bel Air Edison location, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement sent us this statement. Monzi is aware of the situation involving FBI law enforcement activity. We are in close communication with LifeBridge Health's Center for Hope. Mayor Brandon Scott, Monzi, and our partners at LifeBridge Health have repeatedly made clear that any staff found guilty of wrongdoing or who do not live up to the values of our programs will be held accountable.
And now you got all these guys, many of them on parole, probation. Their records are long as CVS receipts. Like, whatever charges they get now, it's going to take a lot from the mayor and the city council, and the prosecutor to save them. Because you know they're going to try to save them. They're not going to try to prosecute them to the fullest, but it's going to be very hard to save these guys, man. Whoever's doing something wrong. Salute the Society of Benevolence, man. It says $5 challenge. Are you brave enough?
Well, accordingly.
I'm shocked, dismayed, appalled, furious, and just downright sad. I'm just sad about the whole situation.
Safe Streets Violence Reduction Coordinators also work with neighborhood groups. The president of the Bel Air Edison Community Association reacts to the raid.
It hurts. It really does. We look to them to protect us, keep us safe, and now we have this investigation going on. So I don't like anything that's gonna make my community look bad. I really don't.
Now, the FBI tells us it did conduct other raids, but it will not confirm if those raids are in any way related to the one that happened here. Reporting live from East Baltimore, Barry Sims, WBA.
Jesus Christ, man.
Just another day.
And yeah, I'm gonna follow up on that story to see what actually comes up out of that.
Right. The crazy part is that never happens.
I was just scared because these 4 kids surrounding me. I was trapped.
Rick Roberts describes the frightening moments early Friday morning when he became a carjacking victim. He says he was coming from work to his home in Hamden. As he got out of his Honda Civic, he noticed a black car.
I saw the car go up the street, and then it zoomed back towards right, stop right, by my car.
He says 4 young men jumped out. One of them shouted twice,
"Give me your keys."
Marcy, what do you do in this situation? What help us out for anybody who's looking to get out of a situation like this? You see the car pass by, it zooms back. What do you do?
Keep going forward.
But what if you're in a parking space? What if you pulled into a space? You wiggled yourself into a parking space, and then now they're back and they've pulled up. What do you do?
So I shouldn't reverse and hit them because they're not, because they're counting on someone not acting. They're counting on them to just be frozen with fear or just give up. So I mean, if you're in a public spot, I should make as much noise as you can, but I'd back up into them.
You back up into them. How would you do that if you're in a parking space? Wouldn't you hit the car behind you?
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about the type of parking space you're talking
On
about.
the street. On the street.
The street. Oh. Shoot him.
But they'll riddle your car with bullets. It's 4 of them they're all armed. You shoot back with your one gun, they're gonna riddle your car with bullets.
They're gonna shoot me. Look, they're gonna shoot me or beat me or do whatever. Either way.
But that guy just got interviewed. He didn't get shot.
He's lucky. He's blessed.
You think if you would have shot at them, they probably would have killed him. No.
I mean, you gotta think about, is it a chance worth taking? I would say he's blessed that nothing happened to him. Some people, not everybody gets the same opportunity. Not everybody gets that same mercy.
Fisherman, what would you do, bro, in that same scenario?
Oh no, I wasn't even paying attention.
Well, at least you're honest.
And then it zoomed back towards right, stop right, by my car.
He says 4 young men jumped out. One of them shouted twice,
"Give me your keys."
Roberts did what he was told.
They took my briefcase, took my phone out of the briefcase, threw it on the ground, and they turned around and said, "If you call the police, we know where you live." And they
See how
terror.
Yeah, now he's not safe either way because now he's in terror in his own house.
I mean, that's an idle threat. Those kids aren't gonna but it's still just the fact that they made it. Like, those kids ain't gonna come back and do nothing to that guy. They're just saying that to him.
But still think about during news. They still think about in news headlines when someone's giving information. They don't want their face being shown, or people don't talk to the they just fear someone finding out that they said something. And someone one night just randomly one night shooting their house up.
It's a terroristic threat. Don't get me wrong, but it's not nothing that you really gotta be worried about.
And I hate to keep bringing this up, but I have to. If Cenk would have heard this, he would still brush over it, because white boy terrorists are the biggest threat to our safety.
Exactly. Maybe he said they may listen, man. This right here is going on all day, every day in every city. Right-wing terrorism pops up every once in a blue moon in a specific area, like that shooting in Maine. There ain't white people doing that every night in every city that night. That happened in that one place in time, and it ain't gonna happen for another 3-4 months.
Jumped in my car, one of them, took off with it, and the other 3 got in the black car and took off.
A short time later, police responded to this giant food store where they talked to another victim who reported getting carjacked on Edge Hill Avenue. This after 11 News investigated several other carjackings Thursday, including this one caught on security camera video. Councilman Zeke Cohen has had enough.
We want to make sure that we are both bringing support and services to young people that are starting to commit.
Think about this. The news anchor said this guy's had enough. So we're being, before we hear this Juice Crew councilman talk, we're told that he's finally had enough with all this stuff. And listen to what the fuck he says.
Councilman Zeke Cohen has had enough.
We want to make sure that we are both bringing support and services to young people that are starting to commit minor juvenile offenses, but
what's a minor juvenile offense? A carjacking? Is that what a carjacking is?
He wants to give them support and services.
Right.
That's the lead.
Yeah. All I heard him say was no solutions. There are no solutions. You know what I mean?
He said this is worse than no solutions. He's talking about just concessions.
This is him fed up. This is him finally fed up. Like
enough.
Phil playing fluster. I'm flippity flubbed it. And it's like, are you serious? This is him fed up. This is like, yo, fuck this shit.
Make sure that we are both bringing support and services to young people that are starting to commit minor juvenile offenses, but also have real accountability for anyone that commits a violent crime, whether they are 14 or 40.
For Rick Roberts, it is the trauma of becoming the victim that bothers him.
It's a sick feeling, very, to have this happen to you. And it's not so much of them stealing the car. It's what they put you through mentally. It's worse than stealing the car.
Yeah, the trauma. The terror is terrorism.
Hell yeah.
I feel for him, I feel as him being an elderly man. I really do feel for him. He had to go through that.
It's like the people that get carjacked in their own driveway. Can you imagine like the trauma that you face on a daily after something like that?
Looking over your shoulder every time. And here's the thing. One thing that victims have a problem with is going back to the scene of the crime. But when it happens, like you said, in your driveway in front of your house, you always have to come back to the scene of the crime. It's very psychological, man.
Hell yeah.
And Robert says what he wants is for police to arrest the people who did this. Reporting live from Hamden, Barry Sims, WBAL-TV 11.
But I remain optimistic, right? That one day you'll do one day, I'm telling you right now, mark my words, you're gonna do what you're doing here, go across the country, look at all these stories, and not one is gonna be some person criminal. Watch. One day.
Oh yeah, by the way, the main shooter, he's dead.
Oh, they got him?
Oh,
No,
yeah, he
shot himself.
Oh, okay, but just as well,
Yeah. And if he was a Sun man, he would not have killed himself. Sun man love life too much, man. We'll make that jail work. We'll make it work. Knew that white guy was gonna kill himself.
Or they're gonna have to kill him, but he ain't killing himself.
Yeah, Sun man ain't killing himself. Sun man love life, man.
We can report that students were sent home early, about 10:30. Buses showed up here to take them home. Of course, a lot of parents were also showing up. Now, this investigation started this morning. We know that anxious parents were here to pick up their children. There's a lot to see here. So definitely they did make a connection. We have some video from this morning for the latest in this shooting. Happened, as you said, around 8. 2 16-year-olds and one 17-year-old student, Carver students, were shot this morning. It happened near the entrance to the school. Some students, we were told, were still showing up for class. Now the injured students.
So this is the beauty of the Black community. This is a local story only. 3 kids were shot right in front of the school. This is a local story only in a city where there's been murders and carjackings going 90 north. So not only is this only a local story that the Black community has to worry about being made to look bad, but it's a local story in a city where it is literally like dropping a fucking cup of water into the fucking Atlantic Ocean. So it's like it's a small local story. 3 teens shot in front of a school.
But it's
today.
It's kind of like you've said before, and I see it now. Some people are very good at dealing with it, right? Like they kind of accept it, or they're able to. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Compartmentalize it.
Yeah, their sons though. Like it's not even like it is compartmentalizing, but their sons. So their sons. This is son shit. Son shit's always happening. This is probably a 95% son neighborhood. They were raised here. Like you would literally have to have fallen off the moon that day to be shocked by the shit you see in Blackistan.
Right.
If you've lived in a Blackistan neighborhood for a fucking year, you can't be surprised by anything.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to get at. Is their tolerance for this kind of shit is incredible.
One 7-year-old student, Carver students, were shot this morning. It happened near the entrance to the school. Some students, we were told, were still showing up for class. Now, the injured students were taken to an area hospital with non-life-threatening wounds. So far, there have been no arrests. Our 11 news crew spent the morning here.
And that's another thing. The white guy got carjacked, no arrest. All those other people that got carjacked by that same crew after that white guy got carjacked, no arrest. This person shot 3 people in front of a school, 3 students in front of a school, no arrest. They also have a bandwidth for that too.
Talking both and police about what took place.
In reference to the individual suspect, we do know the individual is a unidentified African-American male who did flee eastbound on Pressman Street. We are actively working right now doing concentric searches in reference to identifying this individual.
I called my daughter, asked her, was she okay? She said as soon as she walked through the door, she heard the shots. As soon as she walked through the door. So I'm like, okay, I'm here. No school call. I didn't get a phone call say, okay, this XYZ happened, nothing.
Now, as we said earlier, Carver let out early. That process began around 10:30 this morning. That's when buses began showing up here on campus. Needless to say, a lot of parents just drove here looking for their children, looking to connect with them. Now, as part of the investigation back here live on Pressman Street, police are hoping some cameras, both CCTV cameras as well as cameras here at the school, can help and aid them in this investigation. As of course, you would know that all activities are canceled for this afternoon at Carver. The football game also postponed. Live in West Baltimore, Tim Toot.
Hey, why did they just, they just showed a picture of the main shooter in the middle of the story?
Yeah, I saw that.
What the hell was that about?
That was probably like a production error or something, a Freudian slip.
No. That was some bullshit.
White devil. Hey, I do gotta say really quick, guys, if you don't mind me, I gotta re-up. The Umbritos do it too. I just want to make sure that that's clear. The Umbrito, the Mexicans, the Colombians, we do it too.
You mean how Salvadorians?
Yeah, Honduras do it too. That's, you know.
Wow. Whew. Philly, the Philadelphia.
Killer Dove. Hey, have you heard from Reese? I hope he's doing good. Hope he's all right. Trouble. Salute to him.
Developing at this 5 o'clock hour, police say an armed robbery at a food market ended with an employee killing a would-be robber.
All right, let's get out to Marcus.
Hey guys, that suspect actually had a wad of cash inside of his pocket, their pocket, when that store employee shot them as they were robbing that business there. So a really messy scene here. And this was happening last night just before 11 o'clock in Southwest Philadelphia, over on the 1300 block of South 58th Street in the King Sessi neighborhood, at a local convenience store that has had robberies before. Now, according to Chief Inspector Small, a 28-year-old male entered the store with a firearm and made his way back behind the register, where he began taking money, and at least 3 store employees were there, including the employee who shot the robbery suspect, and then a customer also believed to be in the store as well. And according to police, money was being taken as a store employee did take matters into their own hands and took a gun and fired several shots at the robbery suspect.
He had a handgun. He pointed it at one of the employees, then went behind the counter and, point of gun, started taking money from the cash register, point of gun. And that's when the store employee, who was also behind the counter, pulled his weapon and fired several shots, striking this robbery suspect, the perpetrator, several times in the chest and torso, and that's where he collapsed on the scene, where medics pronounced him dead at 10:45.
So security footage recovered at the scene there captured the entire incident on camera inside of the store, and the employee who shot the robbery suspect, as well as the store owner, are cooperating fully with police right now. 2 guns recovered, a gun from the robbery suspect, as well as a gun from the store employee that did the shooting there, that struck the robbery suspect and killed that person as they were robbing that store.
Don't steal, folks. Don't steal.
Hey, I quick question, if you don't mind. Miss Morena I always hear her saying on the chat, Wicked, let Wicked preach and pop. What is she talking about? Do you know?
Let Wicked preach and what?
Preach and pop or some shit? You don't know what she's talking about?
I don't know. I have no idea what that means. You know what?
The intro on every live should have Wicked popping and preaching.
Yeah.
Oh, he talking about Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Pop like this.
You know, funny enough, that's exactly how I look.
Yeah, I'm sure, man. I'm sure you look like that. That's what I'm telling people, man. You sound like you look like that. That's how you sound.
Holiday, you know.
You
Hey,
sound
you
like that guy.
You think that was a good shot by the store employee?
Hey, man. I think it was a free kill, man. I think, like, yeah, I think that's what you would have done, right? In that situation, right?
Yeah, likely. More so likely, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad he didn't just shoot once and allow the guy to return fire and maybe shoot a co-worker. He gunned him down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Was that a spider?
We don't know. I wouldn't put money on it, but let's see. Let's see what else is going on in Philadelphia. Philadelphia.
Philadelphia police have released new surveillance video of the deadly shooting of a woman in Kensington. It happened on May 27th near the intersection of Front Street and East Allegheny Avenue. The video shows a
This
man
is Kensington. I'm used to seeing white people nodding off, man. This guy's not. Oh, so this is what the people who aren't nodding off and bending over, touching their forehead on the ground look like in Kensington. Okay.
They're not now, but they're shooting. Yeah, sounds about.
Interesting, man. Interesting.
It happened on May 27th near the intersection of Front Street and East Allegheny Avenue. The video shows a man in a yellow shirt yelling at someone out of the frame. He then pulls out a gun and fires several shots before running away. A 44-year-old woman was killed and a 21-year-old woman was critically injured. Anyone with him?
Damn, homie just
aiming.
The aiming is crazy. What does aiming like that do, Marcy? Like the way he was shooting. What is that? Like how does that? What?
No, what you saying? How he was aiming?
Yeah, like he's kind of like bouncing, and he's like, it's kind of like if you look at the way he's shooting, it's weird.
Fired several shots before running away. A 44-year-old woman was
backing up.
So he's shooting, and he's not using his sights. He's looking at what he's shooting at, and then he's moving back, and he's trying to retreat, try to keep himself out of the field of vision of the other person. I mean but you would only do that if you're getting shot at. But then again, I think it's all just style. It's all just finesse.
Yeah.
He's just using finesse.
I mean, look, it looks cool. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
It looks cool. But I wonder if the woman was his target. I kind of doubt it.
I doubt that too.
Yeah, the 44-year-old woman was just there, and she's just like when she heard this, like I'm a proponent of this. When you hear this, like right here, this right here.
What you say, you bitch ass motherfucker?
Yeah, like when you hear that, man, you gotta fucking put like a brick wall or a fucking something between you and that in that scene, man.
Her car, just go under a car and hit the...
Yeah, because it's like you can just tell by the way he's shooting that he doesn't really care who he hits. And then shooting down a city block in a major city, like this is a city with millions of people, and you're just shooting down the block. That one could have been 2 blocks away that he hit.
It's like they use guns as noisemakers. They didn't really use it as a weapon. They use it as a noisemaker. Like they're just trying to instill fear. Not actually.
Yeah.
Not they're actually trying to kill someone. They're posturing. That's all. That's what they're posturing.
Right, Press. Master, can you imagine if this Sunman that we just saw actually, had a good grip on it, used his sights, aimed at his target? Can you imagine? I can't even imagine that.
I mean, if he did, I mean, let's say if he actually did all that, he could possibly hit someone from 2 blocks away. It is possible.
He'd possibly kill his actual target.
The farthest shot I've taken from a pistol was 100 yards. With a 9. So yeah, it's possible.
Shout out to Nate Wade. Shout out to Nate Wade, man. He came through. He dropped a $100 on the channel. Salute to all you guys who took the $10 challenge for Nate Ways, man. Shout out to Nate Ways. Shout out to
Nate.
Eric S., Op Nation Hall of Famer. Shout out to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Shout out to Stunner. Stunner in the building, man. Long time. Stunner coming through, man. Shout out to that's it, man. But salute to Karen Vukilch. Karen Salute to Man Bull Bear Shark. Salute to Karen Vakelich. Karen Vakelich, the lovely Karen Vakelich. If that's really you. Salute Op for all your hard work and dedication. Always informative and entertaining. Love to you and your family. Salute, man. Appreciate it. Let's see what happened to this son, man.
Man shot and killed allegedly by his own co-worker are demanding justice as the search for his killer continues. 36-year-old Terrell Lubin was murdered 10 days ago in West Philadelphia. Action News reporter Caroline Godwin joins us now live from police headquarters. Caroline, you spoke to Lubin's family today.
Yes, Sarah, Lubin's family members tell me they are just absolutely heartbroken by this loss. At this time, Philadelphia police have not publicly identified the man they believe shot and killed him. And as they continue to investigate, Lubin's family is asking for the community to help. The family of Terrell Lubin wants justice.
Terrell was a good guy. You know, he bothered nobody. All he wanted to do was work, and that's what he was doing.
The 36-year-old was laid to rest on Friday after police say he was killed by his co-worker.
They were on the job, and these two men worked together, and there was an argument, and he walked away, and the man shot him in the back.
Philadelphia police say it happened.
Did you see the story I did the other day on the girl at Lululemon who killed her coworker?
No.
It was an older story. Did you see that, Wicked?
I sounds kind of familiar.
Workplace violence is a son thing, man. Workplace violence in America, I bet you 90% of it is son.
And Gladys.
Yeah, Gladys they probably get the fucking like if you watch a documentary on it or something, or like get a pamphlet on it, it's probably some white people in it. But workplace violence in America is a son thing, man. I'm telling you, man.
Happened just before noon on Tuesday, October 17th. Lubin was shot in the chest by a 72-year-old co-worker in the 500 block of North 57th Street. He was rushed to the hospital where he died. After the shooting, police say the suspected killer went inside a home in West Philadelphia, telling officers he was not going back to prison alive. After a 2-hour standoff.
So the 72-year-old man shot him. The 72-year-old co-worker shot him.
Shot him in the back.
Philadelphia police say it happened just before noon on Tuesday, October 17th. Lubin was shot in the chest by a 72-year-old co-worker in the 500 block of North 57th Street. He was rushed to the hospital where he died. After the shooting, police say the suspected killer went inside a home in West Philadelphia, telling officers he was not going back to prison alive. After a 2-hour standoff, police went inside the home, but the suspect wasn't there. Right now, the search for him continues.
I want him caught.
Lubin's foster mother adopted him when he was a young child. She says she is still in shock.
He was just all around good guy. No problems.
This morning, Lubin was remembered during a funeral service and a celebration of life. Over the weekend, a vigil was held in his honor.
He just wanted to make life better for other people. He liked to make people smile. He was a good kid.
As family members say their goodbyes, they are holding on to hope that the person who killed Lubin will be caught and held accountable.
If someone out there knows who this person is, his boss or whoever, they know who this person is, and we need to just get him off the street.
Philadelphia police tell me detectives with the homicide unit are currently investigating. They say at this time, no arrests have been made. We are live outside Philadelphia Police Headquarters. I'm Caroline Goggins.
Man. A little monkey in the background kept dancing in front of the camera.
Police
no
deadly shooting of a woman in Kensington. It happened on May 27th.
There's no sense of that this is like a major thing, like this is just like that kid growing up in this area and around these people, he probably doesn't realize the gravity of what just happened. It's just another fucking day. These people kill each other. They kill each other. People, it's something that you come to grips with, man.
In fact, he got killed by a 17-year-old son man is you threw away your golden years because you couldn't get over an argument. I spent time in prison too. On top of that,
Yeah, if he's 72, he probably did a long time in prison. He probably did. He might have done 20 years, 30 years in prison. Man, the sun man, the lives, as the sun turns, man, the lives we live are so much different than anybody else in the civilized world.
he must want to go back to prison.
And he's out there too. He got away. Think about that. That guy got away. Okay, let's see. Following contact graphic imagery. You know, they don't show the actual shooting, but they still gonna say graphic imagery. It's crazy.
Also tonight, NBC 10 has new video showing the moment a woman opened fire inside a SEPTA bus full of passengers. The driver of the bus was killed.
Police say that woman.
I mean, listen, man.
I heard about this today.
Listen, man. Let me tell you something, man. Show me the other group. A woman opens fire in a crowded bus and kills the driver. Broad daylight.
Well, I don't think it's the Tigers, and I doubt it's the Patels. So that leaves the Gliders and Umbritos. I'm gonna say the Umbritos.
Yeah. Y'all the only ones where we would see this, but we still don't see these stories.
Yeah, you still wouldn't see a female do it. Nah, not really. To be honest with you, Chief.
Yeah, and for it to just be another one of many stories, like that might be the biggest story that day in Umbritoville. This is just another story in this particular city. Like this we've been to what? DC, Baltimore, and now Philly. Like each one has its like stories like that are just
Hey, you seen the movie Pulp Fiction, right? How Tarantino directed it, as far as like different people's like daily, like the same day, but different stories during the day.
Different
Can you imagine that
perspectives.
in the day?
Oh my God, yeah, Quentin Tarantino, that was his masterpiece. I love that movie. Pulp Fiction. Oh yeah, I love that movie. And Reservoir Dogs. But salute to him for that, man. Because like
that would be a hell of a movie if you do one of a black extent like that. You know what I mean?
Jackie Brown was good too.
That's crazy. That would be a feat if he could do that. That would be just coup de grace, man.
I don't even think Tarantino.
Also tonight, NBC 10 has new video showing the moment a woman opened fire inside a SEPTA bus full of passengers. The driver of the bus was killed.
Police say that woman is under arrest, but this shooting has sparked even more questions about safety on SEPTA. NBC 10's Brian Sheehan is joining us now with the very latest. Brian.
Yeah, Fred and Jackie, investigators are still trying to piece this together. The biggest question, what was the motive? Tonight, Bernard Gribbon's picture lights up the billboard outside Transport Workers Union 234 in Northern Liberties. The fallen SEPTA employee lived in Abington with his wife and previously served our country.
Shit.
New surveillance video shows the frightening moments when a woman opens fire as she exits and then re-enters a SEPTA Route 23 bus this morning in Germantown, killing the driver.
This is a very traumatic incident for the entire SEPTA family. Quite frankly, we're shell-shocked right now.
SEPTA officials identify the 12-year employee and Army veteran as 48-year-old Bernard Gribbon.
But the bus driver's
fucking white guy, man. She killed a fucking white guy. And black privilege is that being a complete non-story.
Yeah.
That not being like anywhere, like that being literally 0% of the story anywhere this is covered.
Right. Just the fact that he got 2.5 minutes is a huge deal. He didn't get 30 seconds, so salute to them for that.
The 12-year employee and Army veteran as 48-year-old Bernard Gribben.
But the bus drivers hit multiple times. Nobody else on the bus was reported injured.
The incident happened on the 4600 block of Germantown Avenue just before 10:30. Video shows the woman walking away before panicked riders exit the bus and run to safety. SEPTA's police chief says officers caught up with her a few blocks away and took her into custody.
And then 2 transit police officers observed her in the parking lot of a Sunoco gas station.
And she'll just go do her time. Like, that's the thing that I think Cenk, even Tim Pools, the Cenks and the Tim Pools of the world don't understand. Like, that, like, this isn't like the sky is falling. Now, don't get me wrong, she doesn't want to go to jail. In her family, you know, was probably, but it's not like she won't be on suicide watch. Like, they won't even put her on suicide watch. Like, they'll leave her in the cell alone. She'll have to like bang on the fucking bars to get some attention from God.
Right. They could leave her a rope.
Right, they can leave a noose in the cell. They can leave a noose, a goddamn gun, anything. She's not going to kill herself. She's going to go to jail, be a dyke in jail, and live until the Innocent Project comes along and saves her. And I think that most people can't get that. And you can't blame, like, gliders. Most gliders can't get that. I know you was on Burrito. I know you can understand that. Because they're on Burrito gang members that dream about doing life sentences. But
I think it's like same thing like you said. They don't want to go, but if they go, they go, you know?
yeah, it's not the end of the world. That, like, this is supposed to be like, wait a second. You were you're on camera shooting the bus driver in front of 20, 30 witnesses. Like, this is a slam dunk case. You're fucked. You're supposed to go out in a blaze of glory, like in that Sunoco parking lot. She just gives herself up. She should go to jail, be a dyke, and live her life, man.
Maybe she knows Larry Krasner. She ain't worried.
Right. I was going to say, in Cook County, she might still beat it. It might not be enough.
Nobody else on the bus was reported injured.
The incident happened on the 4600 block of Germantown Avenue just before 10:30. Video shows the woman walking away before panicked riders exit the bus and run to safety. SEPTA's police chief says officers caught up with her a few blocks away and took her into custody.
And then 2 transit police officers observed her in the parking lot of a Sunoco gas station.
Gribben's murder is on the minds of many SEPTA employees as the company prepares for a possible labor strike next week. Members of the company's largest union, Transit Workers Union 234, say they plan to walk off the job if the two sides cannot reach a new contract agreement. Many union workers, including one SEPTA bus driver, tell us safety is the top priority. How does SEPTA make the buses safer?
They can actually start off by putting bulletproof glass up. That's a step. You know, the guy got killed today. He didn't have no protection. He ain't stand a chance at all.
SEPTA tells NBC 10 tonight that safety is its highest priority, adding that input from the TWU and other SEPTA unions are crucial as the company moves forward. Live in Northern Liberties tonight, I'm Brian Sheehan, NBC 10 News.
Hey, I can remember that bus driver in Charlotte. Remember that bus driver in Charlotte? The guy, the pastor, the driver, he shot back.
Yeah, he got in trouble. He got in trouble for that.
Yeah, he had a
noon is breaking news.
that
Philadelphia.
glass around him. He had that safety glass around him when the shooting started.
I wonder how that one brother that used to come out here, Devil's Advocate, he's a bus driver. I wonder how he's doing. You know what I'm talking about?
Who? You talking about the one that punched that lady years ago?
No, he would come on the panel and he would always play devil's advocate. And he got mad at
Hold
you.
on. Y'all Borging on my end. I know y'all not Borging, but on my end it's coming through Borging because I got this shitty ass Wi-Fi. Say what you said again.
Remember the one brother that used to come on the panel? He's
Right.
a bus driver.
What was his name?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, though, right? I wonder.
Oh yeah.
He was like the devil's advocate.
Yeah. We gotta get him to come back up. Yeah.
Story on Action News at News Breaking News. Philadelphia police announced charges against the woman accused of shooting and killing a SEPTA bus driver traveling through Germantown.
And police say 21-year-old Zonte Capers has been charged with murder as well as other related offenses. 48-year-old Bernard Gribben from Appleton was shot 6 times yesterday morning at Green Street and Queen Avenue. Safety remains a major concern for SEPTA employees. Many are still coming to terms with what happened while in the midst of tense contract negotiations.
Action News reporter Becca Hendrickson is live outside the Wyndham Hotel in Old City, where both sides are still trying to find common ground ahead of next week's strike deadline. Becca.
Sarah and Corey, both sides understand the gravity of this deal and its impact. More than 650,000 Philadelphians rely on SEPTA every single day. They've been at the negotiating table for days now behind me in the Wyndham Hotel, and those talks could last through the weekend and into early next week.
A lot of times,
And oh, by the way, some fucking sister fucking gunned down one of our drivers today.
these talks do go down to the wire.
Time is winding down for SEPTA and its largest workers union to get a deal done or face the consequences of a strike, which could begin Wednesday.
What would happen if there is a strike is within the city of Philadelphia, we would not be running any bus, subway, or trolley service.
That affects more than 650,000 passengers per day and 55,000 school district of Philadelphia students who rely on the transportation to get to class. Both sides have been back at the negotiation table trying to agree on a new contract for Transport Workers Union 234. The core issues: wages, benefits, work roles, and safety.
That is a bigger discussion, so it's, there wouldn't be anything specific in the
Give me another city, man. Unbelievable. Give me another city.
Miami.
And a touching tribute tonight for a college football player from South Florida who was killed in a campus shooting in Virginia.
Locals' Cody Weddle is live in Southwest Miami-Dade with the art exhibit now open in his honor. Cody.
And Louis and Nicole, this exhibit unveiled titled Love Art Football. 2 of Deshaun Perry's passions on display as his family prepares to mark 1 year since this tragedy.
I can still feel him time to time. He's around.
The legacy of Deshaun Perry on display, his presence still felt.
Who's made such an indelible mark and impression on us all.
The South Florida Dade Black History Center lighting a candle in his memory as they open an exhibit honoring the South Florida native and University of Virginia linebacker, a tribute to his passion for football, his dreams of joining the NFL, but also to his pursuit of art, many of his pieces on display.
We want to share his work with the world and to show him that he not only loved football, he loved art as well.
I have 2 people shot, 1 person at UVA box office.
It comes as the family of Perry prepares to mark 1 year since he and 2 other UVA football players were shot dead as they returned from a school field trip.
Deshaun Perry is going to end this game with a pick six.
A young man's big dreams.
I remember that play. That play was on Sports Center. I remember that play. I saw that play when it happened. It's crazy.
Is going to end this game with a pick six.
A young man's big dreams tragically cut short. His community determined to ensure his legacy lives on.
He's right here in the community, right there in the park. Optimus football. So what else can we say? And, he's home.
And this exhibit, it will be open to the public starting tomorrow from 10:30 to 3, and then Monday through Friday from 10 to 4. They hope to have it up through November.
Wow. Unbelievable, man. Oh, here we go.
A 13-year-old boy who's accused of murdering his own mother will now be charged as an adult, as we heard from his father in court. Local 10's Samir Nefsi is live in Hialeah with the big developments. Samir.
Derek Rosa was not in court today. However, his attorney, father, and grandmother asking the courts for the teenager to be placed on house arrest under family supervision. Now, it comes following a grand jury.
I wouldn't even want you in my house after you killed my... Yo, if one of your kids killed your wife, would you want them home with you?
But no, fuck no. The only way is if I can lock him in his room.
Chained up to the radiator.
Right, I can chain his ass off. Because I ain't sleeping with him on the loop.
Yeah, this is weird. Nah, keep his ass, man.
The courts for the teenager to be placed on house arrest under family supervision. Now, it comes following a grand jury indictment against the teenager for the murder of his mother.
He's a child. No one in the house, in the family, sees him as a grown man.
Jose Rosa, the father of the 13-year-old, making a passionate plea for his son's release.
It's very unfortunate that this tragedy occurred.
It's very unfortunate. He hacked his mother to death while she was sleeping. It's beyond very unfortunate.
I couldn't be up on that stand. I couldn't be up there talking.
You're trying to defend him, yeah.
Maybe there's more to it. Maybe they know some shit we don't know. Maybe he had it.
I don't know. You stab your mother to death while she's sleeping. Man.
Yeah, nah, I can't do that.
It ain't really too much more.
Y'all keeping his ass. I'll be in the stand. You are keeping him.
Hey,
Yeah.
Wicked, I gotta give you props for at least sticking up for the
Yeah, true. Because Wicked, he's standing on Brito business, man.
Nah, look. I don't believe this story out because we wouldn't hurt a fly, man.
Yeah, man. He wouldn't do that if it was a black dude.
The child was very humble, very peaceful, and nobody could imagine that this would ever happen.
Derek Rosa is alleged to have stabbed his mother, 39-year-old Irina Garcia, several times in the neck on October 12th. Local 10 obtained this 911 call the night of the murder.
Why did you do this to your mom? Can you tell me why?
His response, redacted.
Do you think we can help your mom?
She's dead. Meanwhile, in court, his father and grandmother fighting for his release, along with 26 character letters saying the Hialeah teen was known as an honor roll student without a prior history of violence. Asking the court
Well, he's 13. I mean, like...
Yo, what did they try to get him home so they could finish him off themselves?
Yeah, that's just crazy, man. This is such a pickle, man. These family finds themselves in, man.
You think so? I think it's pretty straightforward, man. He's staying.
Well, yeah, I mean for us, but I mean like they got 26 people to write letters on his behalf. This is bizarre, man.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, there's got to be something to it, man.
I wonder what they redacted.
Yeah.
was known as an honor roll student without a prior history of violence, asking the court for Rosa to be placed on house arrest and moved back to a juvenile detention center.
Bonds are not set at first appearance hearings on offenses punishable by life in prison. And I'm not going to set any kind of bond or conditions of release at this time.
And back out here live. Now, the 13-year-old, while charged as an adult, will not face the death penalty. He's expected back in court on Tuesday, October 31st. That's the latest.
Okay, so he won't face the death penalty.
That's a mistake.
That's a win for him. I mean, I guess the family's happy, but they're trying to.
I mean, screw that. I'm looking out for society, man. Screw that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I get he is 13. I'm with you, I guess, but he is 13. Yo, not for nothing, right? Not for nothing. There was just a mass shooting here right now, right? 5 people. Guess where?
Oh, Lawndale.
Nah, you're close though. One more shot.
Garfield Park.
No, you're close as fuck. It was in Austin.
Austin, okay.
Pretty much right there. You know, they like neighbor each other.
Austin, Texas.
All 3 of them. It's Lawndale, Garfield, and then Austin.
Austin, Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, no, over here in Battlefield, Chicago.
No, they should fry that. They should fry that.
30
team.
new information about a murder investigation.
You want him fried? That kid. I mean, like that kid is. He's got a good family, man. They fighting for him.
I mean, he is a kid though, right? He is only 13. I get what Mouse is saying, but he is 13 though.
So what? Hey, look, that was my wife. He'd be lucky.
You wouldn't have turned him in. He wouldn't have made it.
No, he ain't making it. That would really hurt. That would hurt me. But I have to think about if I screw around and he gets loose on a technicality and be around other people and does this again. Then how am I going to carry that?
Look, not for nothing, right? But me myself, I think I like my kids more than I like my girl. Just saying.
Now, that is true. But if one of my kids stabbed my wife to death while she was sleeping, you're going to jail and you're staying in there until they, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not, ain't no getting you out of this, man. Because here's the thing, you know better. One thing about my daughter, she was at the playground today acting like a whole Dennis the Menace too. She was taking kids' toys and everything, but she know right from wrong. She know right from wrong. You know, don't stab mommy in the neck while she's sleeping. We know that. So this is not like some, you going to jail, man. Fuck that.
30 new information about a murder investigation out of Coral Springs. We're now learning there were signs of trouble long before police say a man shot and killed his girlfriend in his parents' home.
Authorities had to be called about the couple before, and now we're hearing from the victim's friends. Local 10's Ian Marble is live with what he has learned. Ian.
And those friends say they are completely blindsided by this. They say they never would have expected this. But neighbors who lived near the couple a month ago, before the murder, said they had some concerns.
I don't know anyone that had anything ill to say about her. She was literally everyone's happy space. And this is just like unimaginable.
Yeah, and that's how women can be. A woman could be a great person and be fucking nagging the shit and bullying her fucking boyfriend and demeaning him and emasculating him while she's like just so fun with everybody else.
Right. There you go.
That's true, man. I've seen it, man. I've seen it so many times, man. Personally, man. I'm like, y'all like this bitch? This woman is a fucking terrorist, man. This woman is a fucking maniac.
It's fucking annoying.
Yeah, like literal maniac, like a unstable fucking maniac. And it's like, oh, she's the greatest person ever.
You lying. You living in terror right now.
I'm telling you, man. That's one thing about being in a relationship with somebody is completely different than being friends with them.
Hell yeah.
I always be. And she's pretty too. This girl's real pretty. Oh Lord.
They had some concerns.
I don't know anyone that had anything ill to say about her. She was literally everyone's happy space. And this is just like unimaginable and unreal.
Kyla Arce's loved ones are stunned after the 33-year-old was murdered this week, allegedly shot by her boyfriend, Paul DiGiacinto. Friends asked to remain anonymous, but wanted the world to know just how special Arce was.
So she was fine. Yeah, she's very pretty, man.
Yeah, for sure.
This look. Is she on Brito? She looks like a Filipino or some shit.
No, I would say I would say I don't know. I would say
She
Hispanic.
could be Filipino though, because they have Spanish. Yeah, but her phenotype doesn't look on Brito. It looks Filipino.
Looks tiger.
What do y'all think, chat? 1 for Filipino, 2 for Umbrito.
I think she's an Umbrito personally, but I can see what
I
you
think
mean.
she's Filipino.
I think I'm Brito.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting Filipino vibes, man.
Filipinos have rounder faces.
And she got a round face. Look at her face.
I mean round. Like.
Well, I mean, the way her hair too, it's just a little. I don't know, man. I'm getting Filipino vibes.
Imaginable and unreal.
Kyla Arce's loved ones are stunned after the 33-year-old was murdered this week, allegedly shot by her boyfriend, Paul DiGiacinto. Her friends asked to remain anonymous, but wanted the world to know just how special Arce was.
She just loved people. She was a solid human being, just a beautiful human being, and she was loved by people deeply, like very deeply.
DiGiacinto is charged with killing Arce and attempting to kill his father in his parents' Coral Springs home on October 23rd. But now new documents show there may have been signs of trouble weeks before the fatal incident. The couple lived together in this townhome in Pompano Beach, and a police report shows neighbors called 911 on September 17th after they, quote, heard a female screaming from inside the unit saying, help me, I want to leave you. Why won't you let me leave? You're a drug dealer. Why are you using crystal meth? Apparently, they also...
Okay.
Feel like going on there.
Whoa. Hey, man, they got some thin walls in that spot. I can tell you that much, man. Jesus Christ. They heard everything in detail. This guy right here, though, yeah. It's hard for a pretty woman to leave a relationship sometimes, too, though. Like, very hard to leave a relationship. Dude don't want to let you leave, especially if he's like this guy, probably a gun-toting drug dealer.
A meth head?
Yeah, probably don't give a fuck. Probably scare all the other dudes away. Like, probably very jealous. Probably has her, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she might have had a hard time leaving, man.
Or just high on meth.
Yeah.
Heard a female screaming from inside the unit saying, help me, I want to leave you. Why won't you let me leave? You're a drug dealer. Why are you using crystal meth? Apparently, they also heard the sounds of glass breaking and furniture being thrown just before officers arrived. But when first responders forced their way inside, DiGiacinto and Arce came out of the garage claiming they didn't know what anyone was talking about. But neighbors tell us they worry Arce was convinced to lie. Her friends say they were completely...
See, in these situations, man, it's like, what can you do, man? If she's gonna lie when the cops come there, man, women, you're fucking... I get why they do it, because they don't want them to get in trouble, and if things have calmed down, and da-da-da-da. I've been there, but...
Sweet talked her? Or threatened her?
Yeah, or threatened her, sweet talked her, or gave her a sob story. Man, I'm going to jail forever, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, man. Listen, man. That the cemetery is full of women who did this. Full of them.
Yeah. Yo, I hear not for nothing, right? But here, I know a pretty breeder was killed, right? A son man killed her in the same way, right? This son man fled Chicago, was in Springfield, the capital of Illinois. He one of the troopers did a traffic stop, and he fucking shot the trooper. The trooper's in critical now, but they apprehended him, took him alive. The pigs took another son man alive after he shot one of them. Go figure.
Wow. That happened recently?
Yeah, that he killed her on Sunday, hit her, shot her 10 times, fled the city, and then again, a trooper downstate did a traffic stop, and he critically injured the trooper. But you know, we hate the pigs though, right? They out here harassing us.
They worry Arce was convinced to lie. Her friends say they were completely shocked by this entire ordeal and want her remembered as the passionate, special person she was.
You felt her presence immediately when she was there, and more than anything else, her absence is definitely felt.
Those friends absolutely devastated by this, and again say they were totally blindsided. They have set up a GoFundMe to help her family with any sort of expenses. If you'd like to donate, we have a link on our website, local10.com. Live in
Gladys out of order.
I'm telling you, man.
Miramar police are looking for a man who was caught on camera blasting out the windows of a tint shop in Miramar. Local 10's Roy Ramos is live with a closer look at that suspect with the trigger finger there. Roy.
Yeah, he definitely didn't think twice before firing several shots toward the front of this business. About a half dozen shots fired right toward the front doors. And its employees I spoke with worried he may come back.
Surveillance video showing a gunman firing several shots into a Miramar business Wednesday. Police said it was just after 1 in the morning when the man approached the Florida tint shop off Southwest 35th Street and State Road 7 and opens fire. Watch as the man appears to be talking to someone and then pointing his finger as he continues to fire.
1, 2, 3. He's just shooting at the door and talking to himself like someone's inside.
I spoke with employee Glenys Valsamper, who arrived to work to see these front doors riddled with bullets. She, too, has seen the video, has no idea why anyone would target her place of work, but just fortunate no one was inside at the time.
Going like this and screaming and talking to somebody, but there was nobody there. He just literally walked away after he shot the glass.
While the shooter takes off after appearing to fire 6 shots, it's the business owner now left with having to make the necessary repairs. But the larger concern for employees like Glenys, could the man, who she believes is mentally unstable, return?
I kind of feel not safe because you never know. He could come back during the day. Who knows?
So while that man did have something covering his face and while he was wearing a hoodie, police hope that you can recognize something about him. If you have any information that could help them, you are urged to contact Broward Crime Stop.
That's a glider, man.
You think so? Why?
Something about it just felt like a glider. I don't know why. It just, I know it's a Sunman crime. Felt like a glider.
But we'll go with glider. They got room.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Give me another city, man. Let's do one more, man. Salute to everybody out there in Op Nation Landia, man. I'll be back home on Sunday, man. That's good, man. I get to stretch out my feet, man.
I know you can't wait.
Yeah, man. Now, it's good to be in DC though. It's good every day, man. Take it one day at a time, man. So I just take it one day at a time. You know, I'm happy to be in DC. DC is just been I could walk. Like in my town, it's like it's not a walkable city like A lot of places there's no sidewalks. The sidewalks are really jacked up, and there's nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
here, I can put my daughter in the stroller, and so many places to go. It's like 20 parks in like this like little area. It's like every neighborhood is like a city in DC. You know what I'm saying? They got their downtown, or they got their business district. Every neighborhood. So it's like you know, that's been good,
Hey,
huh?
it sounds like a nice change of pace.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good to be in a place where you know I can just put her in the stroller and just walk somewhere with a purpose, rather than just walking to like get her some exercise and then take her back in the house. Um, yeah, so yeah, she went to the park today. It was like literally 20 au pairs at the park with the kids at 12 o'clock noon. You know what au pair is, right?
Nah.
That's like the babysitters. The
Oh,
babysitters.
yeah. I think y'all talked about it recently. Like
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's like the white people in DC. They pay these foreign women to raise their kids. Somebody said, "What? Let me see. What cities we got on the board? We got." Somebody said Kansas. We do Kansas City, man. We do Kansas City and get out of here, man. They do New York tomorrow, man. I'll do New York for y'all tomorrow, man. Kansas City.
A former police detective's latest attempt to stay out of prison while fighting his conviction has been denied. The Missouri Court of Appeals today rejected Eric DeValkeneer's appeal bond.
Meanwhile, the significance of this verdict isn't lost for some local groups. Fox 4's Sean McDowell's outside the Black Archives of the Midwest, where it was commemorated this afternoon. He also has the latest on the case. Sean?
Lauren, any way you slice this, it is historical to say the least. Jackson County prosecutors say they agree with the decisions made by a judge last week and today. However, attorneys representing Cameron Lamb's family, of course, he was the young man shot by DeValkeneer in this case. They say that they are concerned about a possible pardon coming from the Missouri governor's mansion. Also, a clemency request was filed by DeValkeneer recently as well. That was denied, as you mentioned. David Smith, who is an attorney representing Lamb's family, said that it's possible, if this happens, that a pardon from Jeff City could come as early as today.
This is a step in the right direction.
The relevance of a white police officer's conviction and prison time in shooting an African-American man in Kansas City belongs in the history books. On Thursday,
we're the children of the world. These are the issues that these are the issues that our intelligentsia spends the majority of their time. Our upper crust, our leaders spend time on. Criminal interactions between fucking criminal suspects and police officers.
This is a step in the right direction.
The relevance of a white police officer's conviction and prison time in shooting an African-American man in Kansas City belongs in the history books. On Thursday, attorneys from the Jackson County Prosecutor's Office held this ceremony at the Black Archives of Mid-America, ensuring documents from Eric DeValkeneer's conviction in the murder of 26-year-old Cameron Lamb will be there for future generations. Lamb's mother and stepfather joined in on Thursday's event.
Hopefully now this will open up the doors for if this happens in the future, and maybe we won't run into a lot of the problems that we face or that the prosecutors face during this process.
You mean like the facts of the case? The unique facts of each individual case? Is that what you're talking about?
Right. Yo, and another thing that she does not understand, right? That these people don't understand is, do you remember the fire with the dad that killed his kids, burned them, and the cops
Yeah.
didn't show up, like, because there's no cops. They're gonna do the things. Why is there no cops? Why are the response times so terrible? Because of you. Because you discourage people who are dumb enough to sign up to be a cop to save your ass. You discourage them.
Yeah, these people are the children of the world. She thinks like, okay, so now the next time it's like, nah, each case is different, man. Each case is a set of facts that have to be, fucking adjudicated in the court of law. She sees it just as a black man got job, but it's such a childish. It was so childish. Press one.
Problems that we faced or that the prosecutors faced during this process.
A judge denied the Vulcanair's request for an appeal bond on Thursday morning. The former Kansas City police officer is behind bars in St. Joseph, Missouri. Lamb's family, as well as Jackson County prosecutors, are concerned about the chance of a pardon from Missouri Governor Mike Parson.
We believe in the court process, and that would apply to me as it would to anybody else. And I think that's a process that we've all agreed to as Americans.
And if such a pardon were to come from the governor's mansion,
I'm going straight to the FBI. He violated civil rights. And the FBI got a right to investigate that. So whatever he do, if you think it's going to be over with if Governor Parsons pardoned him, I'm going straight to the FBI.
the Missouri Attorney General's office didn't respond to Fox 4 News' request for comment on Thursday. Governor Parson has not commented either. Also today, Fox 4 News reached out.
What did that kid do? That makes me want to know what that kid did. What the fact of the case is.
Driving while black?
Yeah, other than that. What besides driving while black, what did he do? You know that's what.
Hair texture, right?
Hey, I'll take you. I'm peacing out.
Oh yeah, it's hair texture too, though. Yeah, that's true. Damn. So he had a lot going against it, man. But yeah, I just want to know, like, let's see. See if we can find out what happened here.
KCPD has not authenticated the audio themselves. Since the detective who shot and killed Cameron Lamb has not been sentenced yet, they say it's part of an ongoing investigation.
That guy's dead.
Words allegedly from Kansas City, Missouri Police Chief Rick Smith. A source close to the investigation confirms it's Smith. The audio first heard during the trial of Detective Eric DeVolcanair for the killing of Cameron Lamb nearly 2 years ago.
Let's make this the coming of the end of Chief Rick Smith.
Pastor Darren Edwards is close with the Lamb family. He sat by their side at trial and says Smith's alleged words were pointed.
He knows what words to use when he's speaking to particular people. And so it is by design. He used the words that he used when he used the bad guy is dead.
He says,
oh God, it's so exhausted.
The family is angry and in shock. So are local leaders like 3rd District Councilwoman Melissa Robinson.
It was just very disheartening.
She's been critical of Smith before, but she says,
okay, this is a red flag that they're so caught up on this guy's words. It started to make me think that the case is flimsy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you so worried about this guy calling him a bad guy? If they killed your family member, that's what you should be worried about.
Says this time the state needs to take action.
This is a time for us to make a statement. It's a time for us to make a stand. It's a time for us to act and be able to be on record of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable.
The police department says it cannot comment on the video and it is an ongoing investigation and did not provide a statement from Smith himself. The Fraternal Order of Police declined to comment as well.
Do you think that Chief Smith should resign now?
I think you should do the honorable thing and resign now. Save the police department further harm save this community further embarrassment.
Smith joined the department in 2017 and said last week he always planned to retire in 2022. Despite some talk the Board of Police Commissioners wanted to remove him, they responded that was not the case.
Look at the power Black people have. Like, literally, like, he said something at a crime. He's a cop. He called a criminal suspect a bad guy on a crime scene. But because the criminal suspect was Black, yo, you got to lose your job. That's power, man.
The Chiefs going to lose their job.
Yeah, Black people got a ton of power, man.
Councilwoman Robinson says her concerns and others go beyond Cameron Lamb, like the police assault of a teen in 2019.
The presence of all of these settlements, you know, related to a 14-year-old boy whose teeth were knocked out, drugged like a dog.
For no reason,
Kansas
I'm
City
sure.
streets.
Yeah, of course, for no reason. This is, like you said, skin color. Let's see. Let's see if we can find out what happened, man.
The world is watching. A Kansas City police detective is on trial in the shooting death of a Black man. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brad Stevens.
And I'm Carolyn Long.
Jesus Christ, covered it hot.
The world is watching. A Kansas City police detective is on trial in the shooting death of a Black man. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brad Stevens.
And I'm Carolyn Long. Eric DeVauconeer is charged with involuntary manslaughter in the killing of Cameron Lamb. Friends and family members of George Floyd, Jacob Blake, and Oscar Grant are in town for the trial.
Oh, it's like a fraternity now. Like, oh, the dead son, man, family fraternity.
Right. Well, which begs the question, where's Crump? When is he getting here?
Shit. God damn. Kappa, Phi Kappa. Shit, man. Fuck.
KKK.
Are in town for the trial.
We're not asking, we're demanding. We come in from all over the country. We're not going to stand still and let this continue to happen to us.
Sir, you raised Jacob Blake, a career criminal, and a goddamn raper and a woman assaulter, and a goddamn reckless, like, street thug.
Yeah, I still can't believe he made it, though. Wow. Salute to Jacob Blake. He ain't going easy.
Yeah, Jacob Blake, man, cut from a different cloth, man.
Over and over again.
In the end, a judge, not a jury, will decide DeVauconeer's fate.
KCTV5's Betsy Webster has been following this case from the beginning, and she joins us live with a closer look at the first day of trial. Betsy, what was the big moment?
Well, there were two. One was kind of a bombshell dropped when the prosecutor suggested that someone may have planted a gun. The other was an emotional moment when DeVauconeer's lawyer asked the detective who was with him what he thinks now of that night.
Sergeant Long, do you believe that Eric DeVauconeer saved your life on December 3rd, 2019? There are tissues behind you. Yes.
Sergeant Troy Schwalm's face was twisted up, holding back tears. The charge against Eric DeVauconeer is involuntary manslaughter, a death as the result of recklessness.
Careful and responsible police officers protect our citizens in their own homes. Careless and irresponsible police officers shoot our citizens in their own homes.
Cameron Lamb was slowly backing into his garage when the two officers ran through the yard at him. The prosecution says DeVauconeer fired 4 shots into Lamb's truck, killing him. The prosecution contends Schwalm and DeVauconeer, as members of a special unit in unmarked cars, should not have rushed onto the property to respond to radio traffic from other officers about Lamb chasing another car.
He has no warrant. He has no.
There it is.
Finally, okay. Hey, man, interesting. These facts are interesting, man.
Yeah, they're very telling.
He was backing into his own garage. They were responding to radio traffic from some other cops that he had been chasing a car. And they pulled up and started shooting at him. Hey, man. Although I don't agree that this is like a big deal and it should be the biggest thing in the black community in the city, but we'll see, man.
But
Killing him.
it sounds like
Prosecution contends
they
Schwalm
were looking for him, right?
Right, but the way they executed the we'll see. Let's see.
Well, that's per them
as
though.
members of
For
a
these people that hate the police, right? I mean,
Right.
these pigs didn't
yarded
just
him.
roll up. They didn't pick him out of a hat. Chief. Let's be real. I don't. Who knows though? You're right.
The prosecution says Vulcaneer fired 4 shots into Lamb's truck, killing him. The prosecution contends Schwalm and Vulcaneer, as members of a special unit in unmarked cars, should not have rushed onto the property to respond to radio traffic from other officers about Lamb chasing another car.
He has no warrant. He has no probable cause, no information about any crime other than a traffic offense.
But the defense countered that what preceded their response was no typical traffic violation.
This chase is in a residential neighborhood, 2 children in the back seat of the car, upwards of 90 miles an hour.
The prosecutor also cast doubt on police.
Okay, so they were chasing them through the neighborhood at 90 miles per hour. It's hard to get 90 residential. It's very hard to get 90 in a residential area, right?
I mean, the only way you could do that is if you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, 90 in a residential area is just insane, man.
Like you're gonna crash, right? Like the odds of you crashing are like pretty high.
Wow. Okay, that's a little bit of light to this situation.
Was no typical traffic violation.
This chase is in a residential neighborhood, 2 children in the back seat of the car, upwards of 90 miles an hour.
The prosecutor also cast doubt on police statements that Lamb had a gun. Back in 2019, police said crime scene investigators found Lamb's left arm hanging out the window and a gun on the ground below it. Schwalm testified he did not hear a gun drop to the ground. The prosecution said an officer who arrived soon after saw Lamb's arm out the window but no gun below. The defense countered that is hardly proof that one was not there, because he had a shield blocking his view, and others on the same team did see the gun on the ground. Now, prosecutors called several witnesses today. So far, all of the police officers. Tomorrow, they will call more before the defense has its opportunity to call its witnesses. Live in Kansas City, Missouri, Betsy Webster, KCTV 5 News.
R.I.P. Cameron Lamb. And on that note,
I mean, wait, but is it impossible to think that a dude that was going 90 in a residential had a pipe on him? I don't think so. Who knows?
right. Same bad time, same bad channel. Out of here.
Peace.